Hey guys, and we are live with day 5 of the Double Your Sales Challenge. Unofficially, this is actually day 6. For all of you that have shown up live every single day since last Sunday, this is our 6th day together. Almost 18 hours we've spent together by the end of today, live here in the Facebook group, live here on Zoom for our VIPs. And my God, what a ride it's been. Who here is enjoying this? Give me some feedback in the chat box. Who here is looking back at the last 5 or 6 days and it feels like a lifetime ago, but look at how far we've come in that amount of time. With me today, I've also got the one and only, the Queen of Amazon, Athena Severi. Athena, I'm going to jump on and say hello. There you go. I think you're muted still there. Yeah, there you go. So we've got Athena. I want one of those lights. And we are going to be joined by a couple of special guests that I'll be introducing here in just a little bit.
Oh, Dan, feedback, the feedback.
What's the feedback? Go on, let's read some of this feedback out.
Fantastic. It's been intense, but so valuable. Let's go. Awesome, Dan. Amazing, transformational, just brilliant, all of you. This has been the most incredible. I cannot believe how much I've learned. So much progress, so much strategy, so much enthusiasm. I've learned more in a week with Titan than I have in the last year. Phenomenal.
Boom.
Boom.
There you go. And guys, we're going to be talking a lot more about that here in just a little bit. And stick around till the end because today is the day that we're releasing those massive prizes, the 2 $5,000 cash prizes, the 2 full annual Titan memberships, a full listing makeover, and I believe a couple more tickets to our event in November in Orlando. November 8th and 9th. So we'll be doing that all at the end, as well as our VIP Q&A as normal. But today, what I want to do is I've decided to actually bring through a couple of bonus topics today. And if you've been to an event like China Magic or to any of our sort of live workshops or events that we've run historically, you will know that one thing we're known for is we will adapt and we will sort of pivot on the spot when we feel we need to. And today I felt there was a need to do that. And there's 2 additional topics I've brought through. One, because I feel that you're up to it. I was unsure whether to do it, but I feel that you're up to it. And I feel that we've come further enough that I can share this with you. And then 2, I want to address something and touch on something that we hesitated to deliver yesterday, but I've decided it's a good conversation and we've had a number of questions about it. So I'm going to jump straight in because we've got some ground to cover here today. But throughout today's session, there is no worksheet. But what I do want you to do is get out a pen and paper and a note or a notepad in front of you. If you're a Titan, bring out your Titan notepads and get a pen and get ready to take some notes. And then as we get through this session, I'm going to be asking you to complete a few exercises, just some thinking and a bit of writing to really kind of bring everything we've achieved together in the last week together and really kind of give you clarity over where you're going. And we are going to be joined by one of the most brilliant minds in the space who helps people realize the potential of this industry and the business in creating multi-million dollar paydays, those big wealth creation events, who's going to come through and also share with you kind of what it is you're working towards here, what that looks like and kind of what you should be thinking about as we work towards those dream numbers that we created on day 1. Monday, we create those dream numbers, those freedom numbers. Sorry, Sunday, actually, we create those dream numbers, those freedom numbers. And we're going to be working towards bringing that forward with a plan and what that roadmap looks like to achieve that. So without further ado, we've also got, I'm going to bring through Brendan from yesterday. Brendan, do you want to jump on? Guys, give Brendan some feedback. What did you...
Sorry. While Brendan was coming on, I was just going to say, that Marley tripled her sales yesterday thanks to the tips. I just wanted to throw that out there. Go Marley.
Boom. There you go.
Don't flex.
Yeah, no flexing here. Yeah, so guys, what did you think yesterday of the PPC session? Obviously, thank you for your feedback in the Facebook group. I saw all those comments, but we've got Brendan back on. How are you feeling after kind of the clarity that we gave yesterday and some of the stuff that we walked through yesterday on PPC? Athena, will you read out some of the comments there and just kind of get people's feeling towards where we're at with PPC?
Sure, Dan. 1 second. I didn't know you were going to call me for that. Dan, I just want you to say that the content you guys are putting out in the 5-day challenge is amazing. Like, I'm seriously stunned, and I'm not a new seller. It's a lot better than the content of workshops and trainings that cost 10K. And your perspective is so, so valuable. I've been able to transform my PPC and my business. Boom.
Boom,
There's
there you
plenty
go.
of them.
Yeah, thank you guys. So yeah, Brendan, the whole point of that was massive appreciation for working with us and getting that together yesterday. Now, one thing we've been asked a lot about, and I knew this would happen, but we didn't really have time to touch on it in an advanced, accurate way yesterday, was the use of sponsored brand and sponsored brand video. And it did come up inside of our VIP questions, our Q&A session afterwards. And I didn't really do it justice. I kind of skimmed over it. The questions were around kind of the relationship between sponsored brand video and keyword velocity and keyword ranking. And I sort of danced around the topic a little bit because the conversation is an advanced one. To get to an accurate perspective, as we kind of spent 2 hours yesterday going through, the conversation of how to layer in sponsored brand and sponsored brand video is more than just a throwaway answer. So I decided after getting those questions yesterday, and I was chatting with, I believe it was Kate in the Facebook group today, that we need to go deeper on this. And we're going to spend 10 or 15 minutes to give you kind of perspective on, once you've got that foundation set up in your sponsored products and sponsored products advertising, how we then scale into sponsored brand and sponsored brand video, and how actually it is a hierarchy that's built on foundation, and it's not one or the other, but it's actually a relationship between the three, and we work up towards those platforms. So I'm going to go ahead and move over to my other camera here, and Scott's probably watching in the background like Dan's dancing around cameras. Scott, this has been happening all week. So yesterday we talked about our campaign structure. We talked about exact phrase being redundant, broad, moving away from this mentality of many keywords in a single campaign to the modern way of structuring a campaign being single high volume keyword campaigns, to control placement, but not only control placement, limit impression suppression, as we call it. And I'm really excited to kind of see the results that come through. And I'm going to be asking you guys to follow up with me in the coming weeks and share results. But what I want to do is just quickly spend a few minutes, Brennan, talking through, once we've kind of got to this stage, how we then look at the relationship between this foundation, sponsored brand video, and then how that affects our keyword rank, our keyword targeting, velocity. Because the answer I gave yesterday on our VIP was, honestly, I brushed over the answer and it didn't do it justice. I said, oh, there's a halo effect, which is true. But what I didn't talk about was, because of the placements, because of where sponsored brand video shows up, because of the indicators that gives Amazon. And it was kind of a rabbit hole I was avoiding going down yesterday. But I think we need to, as we progress forward onto growing Amazon, as we progress forward in the advancement of video, combining video and advertising, and how we kind of prioritize this top of search with sponsored brands. So if we can, Brennan, let's take sort of 10 minutes or so and just sort of talk through that relationship and how someone should view maturing and scaling into these other advertising channels.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great setup too. And I don't think that you were too far off. I definitely think you can go a little bit more in depth. But really, it's a very simple plan, to be honest with you. As far as sponsored brand and sponsored brand video, sponsored brand really shows up. If you're not familiar with it overall, it's top of brand in itself is a header ad that shows up at the top of the keyword search. It's the top of search. It shows up even higher than the top of search ads on sponsored products. So it's a great placement if you have the indicators already going in your sponsored products campaigns that are giving you indicators that you can be successful on that keyword. So again, to kind of break that down, what I'm doing, especially in like a launch mode or when I'm trying to feel out, I'm using my sponsored product campaigns as sort of a litmus test, right? To build the momentum, obviously. But as I start to get sales and momentum, I'm looking at maybe 2 to 3 sales as my starting point to start plucking keywords and putting them in those ad types. So you want those success principles to be there. You want the conversion rate to be there, the click-through ratio. You want those success indicators to be there to say, okay, I can transition this into this new campaign style. And again, you want that foundation to be laid on sponsored products first, and then use that to then go into sponsored brand. Now, sponsored brand video, there's 2 things I want to cover on this. sponsor brand video, I would do the exact same approach, is pluck keywords out, put them into video. Video is also really great if you have a product that has maybe some differentiation features or different things like that. If it can help you kind of sell your product, that's also a good thing to start with as well. But again, start slow. Start with 5 to 7 keywords. Don't go all in with 150 keywords day one. I would still try to, as much as possible, use your sponsored products success to then drive the decision making on sponsored brand and sponsored brand video. So that's kind of the foundation there. Is there anything else I missed there, Dan?
I want to talk to. So I know that yesterday there was a number of questions around some people seeing more success with sponsored brand video, therefore kind of moving away from traditional sponsored products. And what I didn't really go into the depth of yesterday is kind of advising against that because of not having the proper foundation, and also the whole placement conversation of where sponsored brand video is showing up on the page versus kind of that top of search focus, and using sponsored products as the leading indicator as to which terms we should be investing into sponsored brand, kind of the headline area, and then which ones we should be then layering on sponsored brand video, but not kind of diverting all of our budget. We're still keeping 80% of our budget towards kind of our sponsored products. But I just want to kind of give clarity around kind of that relationship.
Yeah. I've seen this in my campaign specifically. So on sponsored brand video, specifically, when I see a large amount of my sales and momentum going through a specific keyword only through sponsored brand video, it seems to sort of suppress my ranking a bit, or I start to actually lose rank. If I was ranking in the top 3 on that keyword before, I actually see it go backwards. I think the biggest indicator there is the placement of those ads probably dictate sort of the cap that it's putting on your ability to grow or rank on that specific keyword. So if you think about where a sponsored brand video shows up in the search, it's actually like middle of page. It's under the top of fold on the first page. So when you talk about sponsored product, top of search, or sponsored brand being the header, top of search, those two give the best indicator to Amazon that you can be successful on the top of the page, which then as an organic rank feature would only assume help you to prove that you can show up top of search organically as well. So I think if you're only putting emphasis on sponsored brand video and you don't have, to Dan's point, the halo effect of having the other ads going, especially more so sponsored products, you're probably going to be stifling your rank a little bit, and you're going to see sort of a cap on it. And if you are ranking high and you see that shift, you'll ultimately see your rank probably drop over time as well. At least most of the sellers, the leaders in the network, Gonza, some of our experts that I talk to on a week-to-week basis, they've also experienced the same thing. So it's good to be diverse in the spread on that, going towards one keyword. You want to use all things considered to drive rank on that specific keyword, but if it's only driven through sponsored brand video, it seems to kind of cap you out at that middle of page, at least from my experience and others.
Sure. So guys, inside of Titan, we have advanced training around sponsored brand video. There's a recent masterclass on it, and we are building it into the foundation series, best practices on length, sort of less than 60 seconds. And just as some tips here, these, if you haven't got into sponsored brand video, you should absolutely explore it. Once you understand your sort of keyword landscape and where you should be focusing your effort and your budget, and it's not expensive to get into as well. I mean, we've literally thrown up videos using slideshow makers like promo.com or animoto.com, where you go on Fiverr and hire someone to create you a quick video, and they actually perform surprisingly well. Now, those bigger products where you've got the margin and the volume to invest, we invest a couple $1,000s into a decent videographer or a decent video production studio, and they perform outstandingly. But you need the leading indicators. So I know there was question and sort of suggestion yesterday, why not just focus on sponsored brand video? It's because you need the setup and the foundation of the sponsored products to indicate which keywords you should be going and reinvesting and scaling into. So think about it as a way of scaling out of or above and beyond sponsored products, but it's not a solid sort of foundational strategy to rely your entire keyword ranking focus or rank management, as we talked about yesterday, moving from being a PPC manager to a rank manager. We don't rely on it for that. Although yes, it does have influence depending on the placement. That's what was the point was yesterday, but then growing out of sponsored products as a way of indicating that growth path. So thanks for jumping on there, Brendan. I know Brendan's actually got to get back over into Titans. Brendan's got his PPC work party right now.
I do. There's a couple questions in the chat, so I can kind of cover a couple of these. So Graham, you were asking a couple of things on the split. So Dan had mentioned too, I'd still try to use an 80-20 approach on your sponsored product indicators versus your sponsored brand, sponsored video. Because again, if you're using sponsored product success as the indicator, you should sort of be drip feeding keywords in over time and then expanding that budget as you go, right? So again, you can go all in. I mean, look, you're a seller at the end of the day. If you want to start day one and you feel confident diving into the deep end, awesome. But just know there's always risk with that. You don't know exactly what keywords are going to perform the best. There are things that you have to find out over time. So just be cautious if you choose to allocate a bigger budget to that.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, Brendan, jump over to the work party, buddy. And thank you for showing up again and delivering all that value. All right, guys. So the next point that we're going to move on to, and I hope that kind of added that value that everyone was asking for with sponsored brand video, how we build that on top of, let me just go ahead and change my camera view here, how we build that on top of kind of everything we went through yesterday and re-engineering the way in which we view PPC from being a PPC manager to a rank manager, restructuring it towards the new age of advertising on Amazon, how Amazon's actually suppressing impressions and managing the ad auction, and then giving you the kind of this structure on how you build that in conjunction with all that research we did on day one, or the keyword research. I hope that's delivered that value. Now, the reason that I brought that up is we talk about scaling. This week's all been about doubling your sales, but we talk about kind of once you've got this right foundation in place, how do you then aggressively scale brands into the millions and millions and millions of dollars and at a product level specifically. And once you've got your conversion dialed in, it's then about what advantage can I have over my competition? What external or what leading indicators are Amazon valuing right now? And above and beyond the advertising mechanisms that Amazon gives me, where else can I bring eyeballs to my listing that I have confidence in converting to give me an unfair sort of advantage over my competition and give me that kind of extra 10% that my competition don't have? Because if you think about what the game of Amazon is, yes, it's conversion driven, as we've kind of really walked through in detail this week. But it's also a velocity engine. And those that maintain the highest conversion with the highest sales velocity are ultimately the ones that maintain and stick the highest rank. So with that, how can we create extra velocity and also kind of feed Amazon's algorithm what it wants? Now, who here recently saw Amazon rewarding sellers with a new rebate referral program, which is an interesting name? I think it's the brand referral program it's called, for bringing in external sales? Give me some feedback in the chat box if you've seen that. And give me saying yes if you've seen that, and say no if you haven't. And for any of my Titans on the call, you know about this because we've been talking about this the last month or two. And I was hesitant whether to share this or not, but given how committed everyone's been this week, I wanted to reward everyone with this and kind of share some very interesting tests that we've been running in conjunction with a partner that I'm about to introduce you to in a moment, using external traffic and then driving that external traffic to Amazon as a platform, and not only attributing the full sale with Amazon's brand new attribution API, which I'll talk a little bit through, but also getting an average 10% rebate on your seller fees. So 10% of the revenue back, 10% of the revenue, which is about, it takes your selling fee from 15% to 5%. That's where the 10 comes from. So 10% of that revenue kicked back to you 60 days later. Now, if you were to search after this, I think it's called the brand referral program, BRB, brand referral bonus. You'll find the official Amazon sales page on this explaining it. There's different percentages per category, but the average across the platform is 10%. It's 60 days later for any sales. So it's per sale via attribution. And with the attribution, this isn't the Amazon attribution beta program that's been around for a couple of years and has been a bit sketchy. Amazon have just released a brand new API, and there is only one company in the world that currently has a self-serve option and access to this API. And I was super impressed with these guys. I met them about 3 months ago, where we've been running a ton of tests, over 500 campaigns. Many titans have deployed this solution, and the data is talking for itself. There is scenarios when it works best, the scenarios when it doesn't work so well, and we're going to talk through that. But ultimately, what we're doing is we're driving Google traffic to Amazon. Now, before I get into this, who here can tell me what the difference is between Google and Facebook? What's the difference between Google traffic and Facebook traffic? Give me the answer in the chat box. Give me the answer in the comments on Facebook. What's the difference between these two traffic vehicles? Yeah, buyer intent, hot versus cold, exactly. So guys, quite simply, anything that's search-based traffic, Google is further down the buying funnel than anything that's contextual like Facebook. Another way to put this, they find you with search-based traffic, contextual, you find them. So if you think about this journey that people take towards making a purchase at the bottom of the funnel, Google sits much lower down in that decision-making process, whereas Facebook, whilst it's a very good engine and iOS has kind of messed it up a little bit recently, it's much further up because you're finding them versus them finding you with Google. Now, this isn't something new. I've been doing this for I've been using Google traffic for over a decade. I've been using it to Amazon for almost 7 years now. And historically, all we've been able to do is drive our main keywords. So if, let's say, we were selling the swaddle blanket like we went through on Monday, we would do roots keyword, and then we'd use something in Google called a broad match modifier, which isn't actually around anymore, plus Amazon. And the reason we do that is we find a large percentage of people use Google to search Amazon. Let me just let that sink in. People use Google to search Amazon. So if you took your root keyword like swaddle blanket and put Amazon on the end of it, that's as high or as close to that buying decision down here as you can possibly get from an external traffic source that's a high quality traffic source. They're telling you the exact product they want, and they're telling you they want to buy it on Amazon. And we find about 20 or 30% of people or so use Google to search Amazon. So more recently, something came across my inbox, and I was introduced to this company or this platform called Amped, AMPD. And then was super, because I understand the technology behind this stuff, because I've been in this type of advertising for many years, was blown away by the technology, and not just the technology, but the team behind it. Then they showed me the integration they have with both Google and Amazon. Fast forward a couple of months, and I have some data to show you today that you can then take away and make the decision on whether you want to layer this on top to kind of add that additional 10% onto your strategy that your competitors don't have. And that's the really interesting thing about this, is it's a completely blue ocean strategy. It's a completely blue ocean source of traffic that less than 5% of sellers are leveraging, and less than 1% of them are doing it properly. And most of the time, in most cases, it's much cheaper than the clicks you're paying for on Amazon. So with that, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and introduce a special guest to the call, that is Tyler. Tyler, if you want to come on and say hello and quickly introduce yourself and let the guys know who you are, make sure we can hear you and see you.
Hey, everybody. Dan, really appreciate the introduction here. The quick summary of what we're doing here at AMP. Very, very excited to share it with everyone on today's call. We've been hard at work building this technology and really marrying Google data with Amazon data to give Amazon sellers the best chance of being successful in advertising their products on Google. And Dan, some of the tricks that you're just talking about there work really, really well. And it's all about kind of identifying which products are suited for Google Ads, which we can kind of go through in more detail here. So super excited to chat with everyone today. I love jumping on these webinars, seeing the chat box, how engaged everyone is. So questions, hit us up in that chat box. I'll try to hit them as we go through.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to spend about 20 minutes here or so before we kind of move on to the next phase. But this is something I really wanted to bring through to kind of give you that leading edge viewpoint on what we're learning as we go with this. It's all backed by data, large amounts of data. Like I say, over 500 campaigns deployed on this, and give you kind of that first mover advantage against deploying this on your products. Now, let's go through, let's kick off before we kind of get into the hows and the whats of what this is. Tyler, you shared this deck with me, and this is kind of some of the case studies of what we've been working on. I really want to just lead with the data. I want the data to tell the story here and the data to kind of do the speaking. So there's a number of case studies here and a number of different products that have leveraged this technology that AMPT have created, literally marrying Amazon and Google with full attribution between the two. And not only that, keyword level ACOS on Google. I'll let that sink in for a second before we get to the demo of that. But just to sort of show some examples here, and hopefully this is big enough you can see it. You can see on the top level of this case study, it's a card holder product. Google ads turned on, and you can see that the budget ramped. Correlation between that, the Amazon search term rank of the track keywords, and then you can also see the Amazon seller rank, the BSR, driving higher velocity there as well. Another case study here. This one's a leg roll. So Google traffic being driven, nice gradual step ups. There's a two-way step up there, as you can see on the image. Again, Amazon seller rank at the bottom. So let's jump back to that one, being jumped up. This one here, reclining lawn chair. So Google traffic turned on. The line's super faint there, but the Amazon search term rank, as you can see, it's sort of shooting up, stifling out, coming down, and then stepping up again. And we kind of see that a lot at the moment. Amazon seller rank, BSR, stepping up in correlation with the traffic. Face masks, highly competitive, as we know. Google traffic turned on. Amazon search term rank, as in organic rank, kind of nicely gradually increasing, and then a second step up. And we see that a lot. Again, BSR sales velocity going up. Let's maybe do one more. Bamboo salt. Google traffic turned on with this solution. The Amazon search term rank stepping up nicely. BSR velocity stepping up nicely with a double step again there. And Tyler, I mean, I know there's hundreds of these case studies being tracked at the moment across some pretty competitive categories, and lots of these coming through. But what is it that we're kind of seeing when deploying this? And guys, I want you to understand the technology here in a second, because it's not just turn some Google ads on and hope for the best. We're going to go through some actual workshopping here for you in a minute. But typically we're kind of seeing sort of 6 in 10 products seeing substantial lift, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. And the things that we're seeing is really it's testing multiple products to find the ones that are best suited for Google. And the way you do that is with the data. And when I jump into the demo here, I'll show you how you can actually see the data. If you've used attribution before through Amazon's UI, basically they give you either it's making money or it's not making money. And there's really no way to optimize those campaigns. But the data that AMPT enables, because we're leveraging Amazon's API, we can actually get keyword level data and really allow our customers to really hone in on which products are suited for Google and optimize those campaigns so they can actually make them an efficient and productive use of spend, not only to drive rank, but to also drive quality conversions.
Yeah. And you've got what was really interesting about this, which is why I agreed to kind of get involved in some testing, is you've got the full backing of Amazon and Google's kind of teams, haven't you? You've got Amazon attribution team backing you, you've got Google's team backing you, and you're kind of the intermediary between the two like giants.
Yeah, Dan, that's a good way to put it, intermediary. Google and Amazon are frenemies, right? Like, they work together, like, they share customers, obviously, but they're never going to actually really talk to each other and engage with each other. So that's why it's so important in order to kind of connect the two data sets, because Google's not going to give data to Amazon. Amazon's not going to give data to Google. They will give data to AMPT. We sit in the middle of them, and we communicate to both of them for you, so you guys can actually see the data that you need in order to leverage all the customers that are on Google by getting them to your Amazon products.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm not going to go through the whole sort of solution here today, but one thing that really was interesting, and we're seeing this in most categories, some categories not so much, but others, we're seeing that actually you can buy the same traffic on Google for a third of the price that you're paying for that click on Amazon. And here was a live case study actually that you found, iPhone 12 case, 13 cents a click on Google. And then interestingly, that's Amazon buying that click. They were sending that click to a page that had an Amazon ad on it and then reselling the Amazon click for 98 cents. They're literally reselling Google's traffic and sticking 70 cents on it. And whilst that's kind of, I don't think anyone would be surprised that Amazon's doing that. What was very interesting is whilst conversion is going to be lower, which we'll talk through, the actual cost per click in what we're seeing in most cases is lower than what we're paying on Amazon.
Yeah, Dan, if I can jump in here, I think what's exciting to me about working with our customers and the technology that we built is we're empowering Amazon sellers to go out and get this traffic for themselves instead of sitting back and waiting for Amazon to come and bring it to you guys. You guys now have the ability with this technology at Amped to actually go get this traffic for yourself and get out in front of your competition. You know, Amazon clearly knows that this is good quality traffic. They have the data to understand, is this working or not? And they spend, I think it's like $6 billion with a B on Google Ads. So it works. It's just figuring out how to make it work for your specific products. And it really comes back to data. And that's why I'm so excited. I love working with Amazon sellers because you guys are all so data driven, especially in the Titan network. To be able to actually surface this data to you guys is something that's just really, really exciting to us here at Amped.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So let's talk about we've talked about the data showing and all the results and the data that we're tracking in this kind of joint partnership we've been doing on this test. 60% of products we're seeing are kind of suited for Google. What is it that's sort of determining the success rate of this sort of blue ocean strategy that is taking this solution? We're going to demo the solution and show you how to set this up in a second. So I want you guys to get ahead of this. What is it that's kind of determining that success rate, Tyler?
Yeah, there's a few different variables that we're seeing, and we're still collecting a lot of data. We're a data company. And so we really love to see this data. Dan mentioned we have about 500 campaigns running. That's actually increasing daily. We have over 1,000 campaigns now running. But all what that means is we're able to really start to understand what products work, what products don't. So more data to come, but what we've already seen to date is the 3 factors that you really want to consider when picking which products to test out on Google Ads is pricing category. You know, where's your pricing relative to your competitors? If you're going to bring in traffic to your, just call it $20 item, but then they see a similar item for $10, that might not be the best product to promote on Google just because how transactional Amazon is. So keep in mind pricing relative to your competitors. The other thing is reviews. There's 2 ways to think about this. And what we recommend for our customers is consider your reviews when you think about what you're testing for and what your goal is. So if your goal is it's a new product, you're just trying to drive rank, this can work really well because we're going to track how this impacts your rank, both on search terms and your BSR. Don't expect a ton of conversions if you have a new product with low reviews, but you can get a lot of traffic there. You can get a lot of rank boost, and that can help kickstart your flywheel. If you do have a lot of reviews relative to your competitors, that's when you can start thinking about it from a conversion perspective and seeing, hey, can we actually put $1 into Google Ads and make $1, make $2, make $3 in revenue? So keep that in mind when you're thinking about which products to pick. And then the last thing too is complexity of sales cycle. So you want to pick products that are more transactional based and less research based. So for example, you know, if you're selling mattresses on Amazon, a mattress is going to require quite a bit of research. Someone's going to Google it, they're going to research it, they're going to read blogs, they're probably going to watch videos, and then they're going to make their decision. So probably not worth investing in that product on Google Ads. Whereas something transactional like a salt and pepper shaker or something like that, that is very specific. When someone comes to Google to search salt and pepper shaker, they're not researching it. Everyone knows what salt and pepper shaker does. They're ready to buy. And those type of products can be really, really effective when advertising them on Google and sending that traffic straight to your product listing.
So what we've seen in all this data is really it's kind of a race to the first 4 conversions. Once you get the first 4 conversions out of Google, that kind of gives everything the data it needs to then kind of pick up and scale. So with that, I know you were sharing this literally with me just this morning. Based on all of the data that's come through, the right process and timeline for this, for people thinking kind of, well, how do I deploy this? How should I view this in the bigger picture of my business as a rank manager, and kind of leveraging and layering this into to test rank would be taking this kind of 30, 90-day testing cycle. Tyler, will you take just 1 or 2 minutes just to kind of talk through this? And I want to jump into a live demo, a few minutes behind. So I want to jump into a live demo and kind of show everyone how they can get access to this and how they can set it up as just a little bonus here on to wrap up this week before we get into kind of the main topic of today.
Yeah, sorry, Dan, just kind of walking through here on what this 39-day test looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just kind of talk through what we've learned here with this timeline.
Yeah, exactly. So what we've seen is with those 1,000 campaigns, we're very active in understanding how our customers are using it, what kind of successes they're getting. The best successes we've seen are when our customers come in and they test multiple products. And the best way to do this is test multiple products for 30 days. And that first 30 days, we're going to be looking to see which products are getting conversions, which means they're suited for Google. We see about 6 out of 10 products are suited for Google and can be successful on Google Ads if you have the right data, which AMP provides. And so what we do is that first 30 days, we hone in on which products are going to be working. And then with the data that AMP provides, showing you which keywords are driving that revenue, we are then going to focus the budget, double down on those winning keywords. And you can see, we round down, we don't want to set expectations too high, but say 5 out of those 10 products that you test work. Now that's a gold pot. Now you're pumping money in, which keywords are working. You've tested a bunch, you've honed in on the ones that are working, and now you're just dumping money into them and they're converting, they're driving sales, you're scaling it, and then you're driving towards efficiency. So expectation wise, test multiple products, expect a high ACoS over the first 30 days as you test, but then look at the data inside of AMPed to double down and then drive efficiency between that 31 and 90-day period. That's when you want to actually start scaling and driving towards efficiency.
So with that, Tyler, let's jump into AMPed and quickly just give a very sort of quick overview of setting up a campaign, what we mean by kind of marrying the keywords and which keywords to target, and then also just quickly highlight the keyword level ACoS and kind of that very quick optimization process there to give everyone a taste of how quickly they can deploy this and start optimizing it based on these data points that are just not available anywhere else. And that's what I love about what you guys have created is keyword level ACoS from Google, which is just mind-blowing, because if you're running external traffic any other way, you have no way of marrying the two and optimizing your keywords. AMPed gives you that, and I'm really excited about it, which is why it's got my full support. So yeah, Tyler, do you want to go ahead and share your screen?
Yeah, exactly. And as I'm sharing this, Dan, I think that's exactly it. You hit it on the head. Is put simply, what AMPed is we are a data company that happens to set up Google Ads. And so you could be a Google ad expert, you still need AMPed because you need the data that we reveal through the API connection. So hopefully everyone can see my screen here. Yes. This is what AMPed looks like. You'll see here on the upper side here, you have a Shopify seller. If you sell on Shopify, you sell on a direct to consumer website, we can help on ads there. But the focus of this and where we really want your attention to be spent when you start using AMPed is on Amazon. If you have success there, then go and try your D2C sites. So you'll come in here, you'll go to Amazon Seller tab. The very first step is you're going to connect your Google Ads account. If you have an ad account already, you're just going to log in with your Google information, and AMPed will automatically connect to that data on Google, so we can start bringing in that data set into our system. If you do not have a Google Ads account, AMPed helps you create your very first one, and you'll even get $150 ad credit for that new ad account. Keep in mind, Google, like Amazon, they don't want you to have multiple ad accounts. So if you already have an ad account, don't try to create a new one to get the $150 ad credit, because Google won't like that and they might suspend your account. So connect your account or create your first one through AMPed and get that ad credit. Once you're connected, Now you get to go create your ad. The ad is super, super simple to create. First step here is we're going to connect to your Amazon advertising account. This allows AMP to take that Google data. Now we're going to take that Amazon data and we're going to marry it together in our system. And it's going to allow us to set up automatically the appropriate attribution tagging, which will track all of your ASINs. Even if you have parent and children ASINs, our tagging tracks all of them. So if someone comes in on a size 12 shoe, but then they buy the size 11 shoe, AMP's going to track that. You're going to get credit for that conversion. And you're going to get that 10% brand referral bonus kickback from Amazon as well. So then we're going to go through and pick which product we want to promote. In this case, I like to use kind of a simple product here, a vitamin D. So this is the product here. These are the ratings. We're just pulling this from your product listing. So confirm this is the product. We're going to immediately connect to the right account here. And then now we're going to go ahead and pick which search terms we want to track where this product ranks organically on Amazon. So what we recommend here is pick search terms that you really care about and you want to see how this rank performs over time. The main benefit of external traffic is obviously we want sales, but Amazon's rewarding that you as the seller for bringing in external traffic with a higher rank. So what AMP does is we track out on a line chart where your rank is over time. And very, very consistently, we see that rank improves when you commit to Google Ads for an extended period of time. And that's what the charts show.
Just to jump in there, guys, the attribution program, you need brand registry for it. Another reason why you guys, if you're not brand registered, need to get brand registered, and then you apply for it and it's granted very quickly. And there's a really good point there that that Tyler made actually. And we've seen the most success with this when you consistently leave it to run. Kind of like what Brendan was saying yesterday with Amazon ads. Let the algorithm do its thing, just set it up properly from the beginning. It's the same with Google. The more consistently you let those campaigns run, the better and better the results get in the way that the campaigns are set up. So it's a really important point, is consistency.
Yep, exactly. So what we'll do here is we'll pick these 3 search terms. You guys know your keywords better than I do, but AMP helps a little bit in picking them. So it's a vitamin D product. We'll do vitamin D soft gels. We'll do let's see here, vitamin D, more generic one, and then we'll just do D3 soft gel. AMP's going to go ahead and
and just sorry to overtalk you there, Tyler. So guys, this is your Amazon terms that you kind of want to track. So what I would say to you here is like, pick the terms that are most important, maybe the main keywords, you consider the main keywords for that product, or some of the gap keywords that you're chasing and you want to track, and you're going to kind of look towards this as helping with that halo effect. So yeah, these are the Amazon side of the keywords that then are going to be pushed through into the tracking. So pick these keywords based on what matters to you. You don't just pick the random terms. On the next page, Tyler's going to be showing you the Google side of things, and that matters for driving the traffic. But this, Tyler, if I'm not mistaken, is the terms that we care about tracking on Amazon, yeah?
Yes, exactly. Very important differentiator. These are Amazon terms. We're going to pick your Google ad terms later, totally separate, because Amazon and Google don't talk to each other. So big black wall between these terms, which is strictly for Amazon, and then these Google terms that we'll pick here in a second. So once we pick them, we can see where they're currently ranked. We'll go next step. We can see that this is a product being sold in the United States market. So we are going to start setting up this Google ad to geo-target the US. And what we'll do here is we'll just confirm that. Now we're going to pick which keywords you want to promote and you want this product showing up for on Google Ads. So really important here to see the keyword ideas from Google Ads that AMP recommends. What this is doing is we're marrying, again, your Amazon data and your Google data. So we know that these search terms that we're recommending do have some volume on Google, and people are searching for these terms. And what's great is AMP surfaces those Amazon related terms that Dan was referring to. At the very beginning, when he was first giving me that kind of introduction, he was saying you want to pick search terms that is your product plus Amazon, because people are literally going to Google to search Amazon products. So in this case, I'm selling a vitamin D3, and people are literally asking Google, hey, show me vitamin D3 on Amazon. I'm ready to buy. So these are very high intent based search terms when they have Amazon in them. And oftentimes they are lower cost per click because they're not very competitive. If you were to just bid on the term vitamin D3, you're going to be competing on Google against a bunch of companies, CVS, Walmart, like everyone's going to be bidding on that term, right? Not that many people are going to be bidding on the Amazon terms because, as Dan was saying, this is a very blue ocean strategy. So
and to
what we'll do
as well, Tyler, this week we've talked a lot about kind of buyer intent, shopper intent, and aligning the journey. Now, guys, my advice would be stick to the Amazon keywords on Google, because what we're doing is aligning the destination with their intent. They're expecting to go to Amazon. Let's hit the buyers that are expecting to end up on Amazon. So my advice is kind of stick to these terms, especially starting out. Stick to the Amazon-based keywords, and I believe you can filter at the top, can't you, Tyler?
Yeah, so we automatically filter for Amazon terms, but if you have specific ones in mind, you can also do that. So I could just do all Amazon, grab all these guys. One thing to keep in mind though is you want to be very specific. You don't want to be, just because this is a vitamin, you don't want to have a term like Amazon vitamin. That's not very specific. You are selling a vitamin D3, so be very specific about these search terms. Because if you were to do Amazon vitamin, low intent, there's going to be a lot of volume, so you'll spend money on it. You're not going to convert on that because this person searching this hasn't told Google what kind of vitamin they want. So pick very high intent ones. We're going to throw them in here. We're going to delete these non-Amazon terms to make sure the budget is forced into these Amazon terms. And now
I'm very happy you said that, Tyler, because we've just spent 4 days drilling intent into these people, into like hyper-focused high intent terms.
Yep, exactly. It's all about intent, especially on Google, because there's a lot of research-based search terms. So you want to be very, very careful when you're in this part of building the ad. So we'll hit next here. Now we're going to build the campaign. And this is the last step, guys. We are very close to launching your first Google ad campaign. So the very first step here is we're going to grab the product title. And again, we're just repurposing a lot of the work that you guys have already done on building out your product listing and optimizing it. So vitamin D3, we're going to throw that in there. One thing that we see is really effective is, because people are searching on Google, and there is some research based on Google, is if you put best in here, you have 30 characters to work with. But if you throw best in there, people are going to see this ad show up. They're going to see Amazon. So they think this is coming from Amazon themselves, which for the most part they trust. And then they're going to see best vitamin D3. So this is going to kind of cut through some of that process and give them the confidence that wherever this page takes them, it's going to take them right to your product, that they know that this is a really solid product. They're going to see some ratings, which is great. And they're going to have the confidence to hopefully add it to the cart right then and there. So then we're going to do some headline suggestions, and you'll notice that this is going to start building the ad up here. So watch when I say Prime eligible, that's added over there. When I say vitamin D, that's added over there. So we're going to add some recommendations, but you guys also know your product really well. So this is your opportunity to put 30 characters headlines that are going to show up in the ad, and you can type whatever you want here. But what's really, really effective about the type of ad that Amped is helping me build is this is going to automatically A/B test. You see that just switch the headline? It's going to A/B test these headlines over time to automatically hone in on what the best combination of headlines is to get you the best quality traffic to your product listing.
And Tyler, we've definitely seen things like guys, if you are the best price in the category, say best price. If you've got best reviews, say best reviews. Don't use the word Amazon because Google gets funny about it. But you can use the word Prime. So use those indicators, because that's going to win the click, just to kind of add in an extra layer of what we've seen there.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're organic, obviously people are going to care about that. Highlight those things that are those trigger words that people are going to be looking for. If you're Prime eligible, front and center, you definitely want to highlight that. Because we've analyzed this, and normally the Prime eligible kind of bubbles to the top as that's the most impactful, especially when people are searching Amazon related terms. They're likely already Amazon customers. They likely have Prime. They're looking for fast shipping. So those are the kind of headlines you want to kind of gravitate towards. And then the last step here is entering your description. Again, this is your opportunity to kind of say, why should they buy from you? Why should they come and click on this ad? And again, we can repurpose this. A lot of what you guys have already done. I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to paste this in here. Vitamin D benefits. That's pretty enticing why they should buy it. And then, this transparency one's good. As Dan was saying, avoid using the word Amazon because Google doesn't like you using other people's brands' names. So what you can do, sometimes they'll allow the word Amazon, but sometimes they'll suppress your ad. What you can do is you can do AMZ if you wanted to get around with it, or you could just avoid Amazon altogether and use terms like Prime. And what you'll notice too is I'm going to try to launch this ad, go to the next step, but it's going to say, hey, Google doesn't allow this ad. And the reason is symbols. So we can see at the ad text, it didn't like this symbol. So we'll just change that to a dash, make that a dash. This is what our ad looks like, looks pretty solid. And now we're on to the next step. And the next step is the last step, set your budget. The budget is really, really important here. So you want to pick a budget that you're comfortable with as a business to test over that 30, 90-day test. You want to be, it's very important to be consistent because you are going to be testing these keywords. You're going to be kind of casting that net out there to try and understand, hey, what works? For a lot of you guys, this is completely new. You've never probably spent on Google Ads before for one of these products. So data shows, 6 out of 10 products are suited for Google, but we're testing. So pick a budget you're comfortable with testing for 30 or 90 days. Let AMP run the campaign. Let AMP surface that data so you guys can start tightening that net and hopefully finding products that are suited for Google and then driving them towards efficiency.
And that's really the next step. So this is kind of step one, is getting the traffic going. That's the 30 days. You let this thing run. You're testing with $300, not going to break the bank with a mature product on Amazon. But then the next stage is really where the secret sauce comes in. This is where you really start to sort of step ahead of your competition. So if we kind of get back to the dashboard and if we can sort of show that next step, Tyler, I really want to give everyone like that full circle view. So I want you guys to think you've just set this ad up in like 5 minutes. You've got your $150 of match credit anyway. So that $300 has only cost you $150. Now this is where the real power comes from. So this is actually a live account. You can see Tyler's censored it for obvious reasons. That's been driving some decent levels of impressions. As you can see there, only a $10 a day budget. And these are, I believe these are individual products, aren't they? Individual campaigns. And then there's a couple that double down to $20. Look at the impressions there. So 1,700 impressions for this time range. What is this time period? 2 weeks?
This is a 14-day time period.
It's a 14-day, 1,700 impressions, 153 clicks at $100 each. And if we go into that, we can see kind of the average cost per click there in a second, can't we? But interestingly, look over to the right-hand side. It's generated $680 in attributed revenue. And I should note, this is looking at the last 14 days, but the attribution window of the attribution API is 14 days. So what's going to happen over time? You know those shoppers that kind of add to cart, buy later, or they put it on a wish list and they buy later? The same way that Amazon ads work, this number is actually going to go up in most cases a little bit as you get that kind of add to cart shopper that puts it in the cart and then checks it out at the weekend. Maybe they're shopping for a gift or something like that. So that revenue figure is attributed, but there is a lag on it because of the whole attribution window. And I understand, similar to Amazon advertising, there's a 2 or 3 day sort of data lag from Amazon as well, isn't there?
Yep, exactly. So I think it's 3 days, but Amazon tells us it's 2 to 3 days. So basically, if someone converts on Monday, you're not going to see that conversion show up in Amazon attribution or in Amped until Wednesday or Thursday.
So ROAS, for anyone that's been in advertising, you'll understand what that is, return on advertising spend. But what is interesting here, what Amped have been able to achieve, which is only in the last couple of weeks, and has completely changed the game here, is we can get ACOS reporting for Google traffic assigned to sales on Amazon. For my more advanced sellers here, do you see the power of this? We can now optimize Google ad campaigns based on our Amazon sales data and attribute the ACOS. So in the first 30 days, you're just collecting as much of this data as possible. And as you can see, if you look down that column on the right-hand side, we've got 16% all the way down to 57%. if we run Google to the same metrics that we run our Amazon advertising to, so we run our ACOS to a break-even margin percentage, 30, 35%, 40%, whatever that is for you, whatever your target is, whatever your PPC goals are that you set yesterday in yesterday's session, we can very quickly start dialing these campaigns in. And Google's algorithm loves consistency. So once we've kind of tuned them and got rid of all the wasted ad spend that we talk about and got rid of all the keywords that just aren't within our kind of profit metrics, we can just let these campaigns run and just check in on them once or twice a month and just fine tune them. And then you've also got the bigger conversation, which I know you guys are working on this, of bringing through tacos so that we can apply that rank management mentality, not PPC sales management mentality, and understand what is this doing on our overall rank performance. So Tyler, let's quickly just show. So if we wanted to break down maybe this, like the 57% or the 53%, I don't know if you've got that censored or are able to do that. How would we quickly be able to kind of optimize this down and start pausing those keywords that aren't performing at the metrics we want?
Yeah, exactly, Dan. And that's the part that's so important here, is not only being able to see these high level, is this making money or is it not, but to make them more efficient. So if we were to look at, this campaign down here, it's a 39% ACOS. That's solid, right? I think a lot of us would be happy with it, especially with the impact on rank. But if we click into it here, we're going to actually be able to see which keywords are converting for this. And what we can see here is, actually, give me 1 second. I want to make sure I get the right screen here. I'm going to unshare and I'm going to pull in another screen here. Give me 1 second. Exit full screen. We've got this up on another screen here. There we go. And what we can see here, let me share my screen again, is we can actually see the keywords and how those are converting. And this is something you cannot get without tapping into the Amazon's attribution API. So now we can see these conversions. We can see at this first keyword, I scrambled the word here. We can see you spent 124, you got 4 conversions, and you have a really good ACOS of 32. This product, or this keyword, you spent $111 on it and no conversions and no revenue. So basically, we can now see that the data shows us, for whatever reason, this keyword does not work for this product on Google Ads. Does not work. You're wasting money. We want to shift this money, this $111, out of this keyword, and we want to pump it into this keyword that we know converts, or this keyword that we also know converts, and even getting a better ACOS at 19%. So all you have to do is just toggle it and pause it right here in the AMP system. And then what that's going to do is now your 10, 20, whatever budget you have for this campaign is going to be forced into these keywords that we know work, that we know people search on Google and then buy your products. And that allows us to then, we take this 39% ACOS, now we're forcing into a 32 or 19% ACOS, making it more efficient. So this is when I'm saying 30, 90-day test for 30 days, test a bunch of keywords, see which ones work. And then from day 31 through 90, now you start tightening that net by pausing these unproductive keywords.
Yeah. And guys, do you see the power of kind of now being able to drill down Google traffic, look at wasted ad spend, look at ACOS, and very quickly get these campaigns optimized to metrics and goals that you're happy with, and then just drive that targeted external traffic that you know is performing. External traffic historically has been this big black hole. It's been this big black hole of data. We've done it for years, but we never really knew whether it was working or not. We used manual attribution, but it was a bit sketchy. We were never able to see keyword level ACOS or anything like that attributed to Google. Do you see how you can layer in a complete new traffic source that Amazon is loving right now? They're even paying us to do this. 10% of your revenue is then rebated back to you. So at the moment, that ACOS is true ACOS. As in, like, it's the actual ACOS figure. If you add in the 10% of the sale you get back, that number changes. And right now, Tyler, that number doesn't include that, does it? It doesn't include the
correct. Yeah. So you spent 312, you made 800. Take 10% of that. So take $80
and add it on top.
Subtract that from your cost. And then now all of a sudden this ROAS is getting, or sorry, ACOS. You guys talking ACOS here on Amazon. It's getting eating more better. It's getting lower, which is exactly what we want.
Yes, you could actually, what you could actually do is go ahead and move your ACOS target up to account for that additional 10%. Now that 10% is not coming, it's 10% of the sale of the revenue. So if you've got a $10 product, you're getting $1 back, a $20 product, you're getting $4 back. You don't get it for 60 days. There is a lag on that. But that gives you even more confidence in your ability to push those ACOS targets. And I know Amped are working towards then bringing in the tacos conversation and attributing overall sales, which is coming down the pipe. I know that. So you can see how very quickly you can just, without even having to go into Google, you just come in, disable the keywords that aren't working, and let this thing run. Now, I don't want you looking at Phrase Match and going, well, you said don't use Phrase Match yesterday. This is Google, not Amazon. This is a completely different platform. So don't get confused there. Just let the system do what it does. For my Google advertising geeks out there, it's maximizing clicks. That's the objective inside of Google. It's maximizing clicks. So it's going out and getting you the cheapest, highest quality clicks. But this is one of those things, guys, where you don't drive a car and then ask how every mechanism in that car works. If you are interested in that stuff and you want to get under the hood of this, get in touch with Amped and they'll tell you how it works, because it's impressive stuff. But it's the type of thing where you just turn it on, you set it up, you spend 30 days collecting data, you then go in, optimize the keywords, turn off the ones that aren't working, and let the system do what it does. Let Google's advanced algorithms do what they do, let Amped does what it does. And then the idea is continue to layer in more products. So Tyler, is there anything you want to add to that before we wrap up? And I tell these guys how to go and get access to this and set this up.
Yeah, I'll just leave you with two things. Is one, we're adding a lot to this every day or every week. And a couple of things that Dan alluded to is actually being able to calculate tacos. So these conversions, sales velocity is great, the revenue is great, but the real impact is how this is actually impacting your rank on Amazon and how we're getting organic sales. We want to make sure that we're able to bring that in for you. Right now, we visualize it with how your rank is improving over time. And that's what some of those charts that Dan was showing you. But we're going to actually eventually be able to calculate the impact that this external traffic has on your organic sales. So that's coming down the line. We're super excited about that. And another thing too is, as Dan was talking about, there's a leg in conversions. That's true because of attribution, but it's also true, as you guys know, in add to cart. People will add to cart and then buy a week later, 2 weeks later, whatever it is. We're actually going to be providing some of that data as well. So you'll very soon be able to see, okay, I got 100 clicks. How many people added it to the cart? How many people actually bought once they add to cart? So, coming back to this, Amp is a data company, and we're providing you with the data company and the tools to be successful and hone in on the right products on Google Ads.
Yeah, you just said something there very interesting. One of the data points I was looking at today with Brandon, who's the CTO at Amped, is the attribution API actually allows us to track add to carts as well. And for any of you guys and girls that kind of know the gray area of ranking on Amazon and the impact of add to carts have on rank, I'll let you into a secret. You can get a products page 1 using add to carts. We don't do it, but there's many people that do. This is like a legitimate way, a TOS compliant way of generating add to carts, because what we're seeing in the data is a large percentage of people of these clicks. The other side, so if they're converting at 4 or 5%, which is about normal once you get some conversion data going with this traffic, the other 90%, a large percentage of them are actually adding the product to their basket. They're adding it to their cart. They're not checking out, so it's not a full conversion, but you're getting those add to carts, which is an amazing rank signal to Amazon. So it's kind of like the unofficial halo effect that's happening as a result of this. And it's not published in here yet, but I've seen the data and it's tracked officially by Amazon's attribution API. It's all above board. And a large percentage of these clicks are adding to cart, which is kind of a secondary rank benefits that we're seeing as a part of this. So I'm really excited for that to come through. And if you're a member of Titan, you'll see all this stuff coming through more and more, because I'm so excited by this. I've never done this for another external before, but I'm working with Amped and kind of helping these guys really point this in the right direction, because I know the impact this will have if I do that. So yeah, Tyler, thank you for jumping on, buddy. If anyone sees the power in this, you can go, I dropped a short link. It's not an affiliate link or anything like that. I just did it because the long link's annoying to get to. But if you go to titaninvite.com/amped, AMPD, You can get signed up. You can get joined in literally like 10 minutes or so. Don't do it now because we've got an entire hour session to go through. You do not want to miss the next session. This was just a bonus piece. So do it later. But you can sign up to Amped, get your Google ad account connected. Google's going to give you up to $150 in match funding, which means that $10 a day is only costing you $150 for the first month. You get that 10% rebate, or that referral bonus, as they call it, once you've got the attribution API connected. And your action item with this, your bonus action item, and like I say, I was questioning whether to bring this through, but I believe you're ready, is to go and set up your Amped campaigns on your product, stick to those Amazon keywords, keep the focus tight, run it for 30 days, and then start optimizing from there, and see the halo effect take place in your ranking. Amazon are really prioritizing this stuff right now. You heard Michelle Barnum-Smith yesterday talking about the Google referral link that's been used in rebates. External source sales are just skyrocketing organic rank right now. And this is a fully above board, TOS compliant, Google paid advertising to Amazon. The two companies are supporting Amped. Their top tier teams are supporting Amped with full attribution API access, full Google API access. Amped is the only company in the world that has this level of access available to sellers at self-serve, which is why I wanted to bring this to you as a complete bonus today, as a well done for your commitment and energy this week. So guys, what do you think about that before we move on? How are you feeling about that? Yeah, for questions, Amped is $97 a month. It's $97 a month. And you can get going and set that up. So how's that looking? How's that feeling? Great, signing up. Excellent. Sweet. Thank you for that feedback, guys. Now, the next topic we're going to move on to really bring this week together, is one that continually makes me realize the opportunity that is in front of all of us in this space. We really are in kind of the golden era, as I call it, of e-commerce. And I'm just going to go ahead and move my camera over here. We really are in this golden era of e-commerce. And unless you've been living under a rock, you will know how much money is pouring into the Amazon brand space right now. Big money out of places like Wall Street, VCs, private equity funds, buying up all of these brands that we're creating, and creating life-changing events for the owners of these brands. And for 99.99% of you on this training, you are working towards that. Now, on Sunday, when we kicked this whole thing off, we went through an extensive exercise of calculating our freedom number, if you're not yet sort of full-time in the business. And if you are, our dream number that we're working towards in an exit. But then we also broke it down further and calculated how many products do we need to launch, at what price point, at what margin, and what does kind of that growth plan look like to achieve that dream number to give us that sort of lifestyle and everything that we're working towards. Now, the guy that I'm going to introduce now, Mr. Scott Dietz, the one and only Scott Dietz, has been a personal mentor to me for a number of years now. I think it's 4 or 5 years plus. We've been friends in the industry for a long time. And whenever I've needed direction, or whenever I've been in a point of like needing clarity, Scott is the guy that I always go to. And I'm very grateful to have Scott in my life. But not only have I looked to Scott for this, many sellers in this space that have had some of the largest exits in this space, what you probably don't know is that Scott is behind many of those transactions, including some very famous transactions that are very public and very documented, which I'm sure Scott will talk about. What this guy does not know about building value in an Amazon business and exiting it for your biggest payday in your life, and whatever that means to you, and creating that wealth creation event, that isn't worth knowing. And many of these big aggregators in the space have Scott passing deals, advising them, and navigating this whole space. So when I said get out a piece of paper and a pen and a notebook, it's for this. The next 30 minutes, I want you to take down everything that Scott says, because this is why you're doing what you're doing. This is what you're working towards. And what Scott's going to give you in the next 30 minutes is complete clarity on what the end picture should look like and what matters. So Scott, without further ado, can I have you jump on as our special guest here and welcome you to the call? Thank you for taking the time out of your day to be here with us. And I'm going to hand over the reins and you're going to go through your presentation here today.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody. Really glad to be here. And I appreciate Dan's comment about me being a mentor. Another word for mentor is old. And I guess I fit that as well. So I've been at this quite a while. I'm here today. Just a housekeeping audio check. How's the audio, Dan?
Yeah, you're coming through loud and clear. You're really good.
Okay, good. All right, that sounds great. So, no, I'm really looking forward to it. This is the topic that I'm most passionate about, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive right into it. I've got some prepared materials to help you think about what we're really building towards. So let's get started, and I will bring it up on the screen here. Just confirm for me, somebody, that you can see the presentation materials.
Yeah, it's all coming through loud and clear.
All
Scott.
good. All good. Okay, great. So here's where I start. Over half the money you will ever put in your pocket will come when you exit your business. Now think about that. We run this analysis for every one of our clients at Northbound, and with all of the money that you've taken out of your company to date might be 6 or 10%. The amount that you take before you sell might be another 25 to 30%, but more than 50 cents of every dollar that you as an Amazon seller will ever get from your company comes on the day you sell it and the deal that you structure properly to maximize the valuation of that company. Okay. And when you think about that, that's like literally saying to you, if you do everything that you learned the last 5 days, and frankly, the content here is just absolutely incredible. It speaks to the value of partnerships, which is something very near and dear in my life. If you take all of that and you don't do this last step right, you still left more than 50 cents out of every dollar on the table. So the next thing I always leads me to say is, okay, so if that is true, Scott, why is that true? And the reality is because you're reinvesting in your business, you're buying more inventory, you're scaling up your company, you're hiring team members, you're launching new products, you're building an asset that someday needs to be realized in order for you to realize your dream. And I like to think of it as, imagine if I could combine for you the best Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Prime Day, all of those days combined, and just give you a lump sum check. And the good news is you never had to go buy more inventory with that. Okay, that's how powerful this last step is. And so the first thing I always start with, once people understand that dynamic, is I then go to the next slide here, which says, who here is currently spending more than 2 hours a week or 5% of their time making that payday happen? Okay, when I do a live seminar, what'll happen is you'll see maybe 5 or 10% of the hands go up in the room at most. And so if you think about it, it's totally illogical. The thing that's going to pay you the most is the thing that you're spending the least amount of time on. What I want you to get out of today is just 2 hours a week thinking strategically about this payday and taking all the things that you learned over the last 4 or 5 days and putting it within the framework that is going to make that happen. That's my passion. My passion isn't just to help create life-changing events for people, although I love doing that. My passion is first unlocking the bottlenecks that you have in your life and then going for that exit. Dan mentioned all the money that's in the aggregators in this space. Well, here's what they do. They acquire you at whatever valuation that they do. They put more money into it. They put more brand into it. They unlock the bottlenecks in the business, and then they trade at a higher multiple. Well, it serves to reason. Why don't we go ahead and do more of that step before we exit will lead us to a higher valuation? And that's my passion. I want to help you unlock the value in your business and then get that life-changing exit. And as you already went through in the content here, I want to relate what you learned earlier in the week, just what's my product roadmap, to how you can sell your business for 6 or 7 figures. And I always like to start with the lower number first. Who here would like to sell a business for 500 grand? Okay. And when I say sell a business for 500 grand, a lot of times people will be like, oh man, that's really hard. I don't know that I could do that, et cetera, et cetera. And I say, here's all you need to do. You just need to have 7 winning products selling an average of 20 units a day with an average selling price of $20, and an average profitability of 20%, and you have a business worth $500,000. So if you do that for 3 years, if you did two products a year that were successful, or maybe 3, you're already sitting on a 6-figure exit potential for your business. And as you can see, the math is very clear here along the right. I take the 140 units a day, $20, $2,800, $560 a profit, 30 days in a month, 200,000 a year profit, and what's called a multiple, a 2.5 multiple, is a very low conservative multiple, that we apply to it. If one thing you'll learn about me is I'm not part of this, what I call hype train. Selling a business is hard unless you know what you're doing. You have to have the right team to do it right. So let's not overset our expectations. But even at that particular multiple, we're sitting on $500,000. And I don't know how you're sitting in your house, but as I like to say, $500,000 is real money in my house, and I don't ever want to live in a house that it's not, right? That's a very incredible accomplishment for a relatively straightforward amount of work. So you've now related, you say, okay, that's what that looks like. Then you say, okay, what's wrong with my mindset that makes me still not believe that I can sell my company? And I guess I'd ask somebody to put in the chat log, and if Dan or Athena, if you want to say anything about it, who here still doubts whether or not they could sell their company, and be honest. Okay. And if nobody here doubts that they can sell their company, great. But there's many people that don't think that they'll eventually be able to sell their business. And I call it the mindset shift from light switch to thermometer. Okay. Most people think selling a company is a light switch. Some people can and some people can't. And the only people I grew up with hearing that could were like really super successful entrepreneurs or .com gurus or these types of people. And so you get this idea that there's a can and a can't. The most beautiful thing about the Amazon business model is that there is no light switch if you build your business right. And I'll keep coming back to that. If you build your business right, the right mindset is a thermometer mindset. You are worth something here today. There is a value and a buyer out there for you today if you're profitable. Okay. If you're not profitable, don't worry about that. You might be early in your journey. But once you get to profitability, there are businesses that are getting sold that have $50,000 of profit. And there's businesses that we just recently sold that had north of $5 million of profit, not revenue. There's a wide market as you want to go. But the key is to get your mindset away from light switch and into thermometer. Okay. So if you don't have that mindset now, that's the first thing that you're going to have to do it, because what it sets up is that you have an asset now, you have your dream goal. My job is to help you understand the path from here to there. Okay. So now you go, all right, I got the mindset, Scott. I do believe there's a buyer out there. There's billions of dollars in the space. Tell me how I need to think about this. The first thing that you need to understand is everything that I mentioned to you that's good for selling a business is most likely also really, really great for running it. When you think from an exit mind first, you'll fundamentally make different decisions. You'll stop chasing shiny objects. You'll focus on what's really valuable, and you'll get locked into what the goal is. And so here are some of the things that matter most. If you said, Scott, how do I get a premium valuation for my particular business? I'll show you. The first thing is, I call it the 20-20-20 rule. You have to have strong profit margins, 20% or more. Okay, that doesn't mean when you're launching products, but that means eventually, and I'm not talking about 20% gross profit, but then I got a bunch of advertising costs and a bunch of overhead. I'm talking if I sell $1 million in a year, that at the end of the year, I've got $200,000 in my books that I pay taxes on. You have to have good margins. The way I think about that then is that if you think about selling yourself on a product because you like it, or well, maybe it's kind of good, or it's strategic to the brand, all of these different types of things, the more things that you release that are below that profit threshold, the harder it's going to be to reach that threshold, and you will not get a premium exit without it. So I always like to say, think about all the ways that a product won't be profitable. And if you can't come up with any, then go ahead with the product, as opposed to what many of you have done. I started my Amazon business in 2013. I don't run it anymore. because I do this full time, but I always was looking for a way to make products work rather than finding ways that they would not work. When you're selling your business and you know that's your ultimate payday, hold tight to this and keep discipline to this threshold. Second of all, then realize the second 20% is you have to have 20% growth or more. If you are flat in this particular industry, you are not growing, you are not valuable, because the marketplace on Amazon is going up double digits a year. You have to think about it as, I need to be growing at 30, 40% a year at a minimum, but I got to at least be growing at 20%. Now, this year, for some of you, it might have been a very challenging year. We got shipping costs, we got logistics, we got all of these different types of things going on. Don't worry about in the short term. We are planning for your long-term exit. When you want to think about this, that's the trajectory you have to be on. And then the final 20% is you have to be diversified. Don't get caught. I got caught on this. My first product in 2013, it was so easy to make money on Amazon. I put out a product on there. It was an LED headlamp. And on Black Friday, I was ranked in the top spot. And the next, you know, the money just came rolling in. And it's very easy to go, well, why would I go try and dig back down and release more products? I'm making a lot of money here. You have to continually be investing in products to grow, but you're also doing it because you can't have a buyer have any more than 20% in any one product, or they're going to start to perceive risk in your business, because if something happens to that product, it's very difficult to have the other products make up for it if it's half your sales. So keep launching those products. And then finally, the larger you get, generally you have a little bit higher multiple. So those are the core. You got to have that. But what's really underlying that core is this. First, strong brand. More important than ever before, knowing your audience, knowing your customer, and knowing what products that they need is extremely important to the valuation of your company. Second, track record. It doesn't have to be years in business. It could be track record on new product launches. But what a buyer wants to see is, I launch a product, I've got a system, I use AMP plus organic traffic plus PPC, whatever it happens to be. I've got my ManyChat list built. I bring something out that's in my audience. I then go into variation strategy on it. I've got a track record. And I can show you, buyer, the blueprint to success that allows them to have confidence in it going forward. The third one is I call it recurring revenue, and I'm going to put that in quotes. What they're looking for is confidence that revenue will happen after the sale. Now, if you're in consumables, great. You got a subscribe and save program, it's recurring revenue. If you're not in that, don't worry about that. What they want to understand is that the revenue from the products that you have will continue to come in. So if you have products that have very, very short life cycles, things that, you sell a whole bunch of them, but they go away, that's not recurring. Or if you have things that, it's not that you can't sell any business, but the more faddish your programs are, gives a buyer a perception that that revenue might not recur. And then finally, you have to build a business that's easy to take over. You have to not have something so complex that it makes it difficult for them. And what do you mean by complex? So if I've got 5 different brands with 4 different market niches, and I've got it all in one Seller Central account. So I've got one Seller Central account, and I'm in pets, I'm in automotive, I'm in beauty, I'm in supplements. Okay. How do I get a buyer? I got to find a buyer, as I always like to say, that it's not like they want to buy a fruit basket. They're going to have to buy a fruit basket with a slab of meat, a thing of eggs, and some charcoal briquettes. Okay. It just doesn't make sense to a buyer. So think of your business. And if you have multiple brands, set up different business units, but think of the fruit basket concept, that I want everything to look nice and tight and fit within this particular business. Okay, so there's a lot of content in there. If you really think about each one of these things and benchmark yourself against it, you're now on a roadmap toward evaluation. If you notice what's not in there, I didn't have in there that you got to go create a Shopify site and try and generate 30% of your sales direct to consumer. Okay, surveys will show that actually a lot of buyers don't see that is a value add. So you oftentimes will hear, well, I got to go create diversification so that I'm more, I'm not just on Amazon. That's absolutely not true. Now, if your business naturally leans toward that, you might get a premium for that. But for many people trying to get distracted and doing things because they heard that it matters to their valuation, you don't do it for that. For the fact is, for most people, it's very hard to learn off Amazon and funnel management to do Shopify and a number of the other things that people do. I fully support going into, additional Amazon marketplaces like Europe if you're in the United States, but I don't support going in there, pricing the same, and then not hitting with the VAT tax that they have, having a 10% margin. So when you do things, every decision that you make strategically leaning toward these criteria will be leaning the ladder up against the right wall. Okay, next up then, you say, okay, Scott, now I've got it. Premium valuation. These are the criteria. I got a bigger target on mine. I want to get to 7 figures. And you say, okay, 7 figures, $1.7 million exit. Look what happens to the numbers. Doesn't have to change that much. 20 products over 3 years. I would suggest that you build your plan on launching a little over 30 because you're going to have some that don't work. Same $20 products, 20 units a day, 20% profitability, $1.7 million valuation. Okay. And just one little accounting note here, that multiple should shift up to a 3 to get to this particular number because the multiple appreciates as you get bigger. Okay. So here's the way to think about it. Conceptually, what's going on in this is you're not going to go in year 1 in your business and be able to do 10, 10, 10. What's likely going to happen is you're going to get 3 products out your first year, 5 your second year, 10 your third year. Here's the way that I think about it. I can almost always tell the people that are going to be successful. And if you know somebody, a great Titan success story is a guy named Justin Dyson. I knew the minute I talked to him that he was going to have a successful exit for his business because he told me the strategy. He told me the strategy very clearly. We do not get caught up in whether or not something works or doesn't work. We release X number of products every month, and I'm going to release X number of products for every month for the next 3 years. And I said to him, if you can achieve that simple goal of continuing to stay focused on that, even if your hit rate is only 50 or 60%, you will have an exit for your business. That's what it takes to think about. And I did it frankly wrong when I started my Amazon business. I fell in love with my product and I put it on the shelf and I thought how beautiful it was. And it's about loving your product, but continually innovating your business to be able to scale. So hopefully when you take a look at this, you go, wow, this actually looks a lot more doable than what I thought that it might be. And now we'll talk a little bit about some case studies and how to think about that, achieving that for yourself. Step 1, you got to know your numbers. And I mean, really know your numbers. One of the values of this group is that you have people out there that know the numbers maybe better than yourself. So you got to get all the way down. You got to look at, here's my revenue. I always call it on 1 page or 2 slides. Be able to look at every part of your business, not only on a dollar level, but on a percentage level so that you can see what percent of your expenses are going into what categories. You get all the way down to the gross profit. You get all the way down to what's called contribution margin. You factor in your overhead. You do this thing called net operating profit. And then there's this thing called add backs, which essentially means your owner related expenses going through the business and your taxes and other types of things you get to add back. So you have to think about knowing your value of your company, not based on what your taxable profit is, but based on what's referred to as your accrual-based profitability. If you don't know the difference between cash or accrual from an Amazon accounting perspective, don't worry about it. Okay, but make sure that you have a resource in your company or an advisor like a bookkeeper or someone like ourselves at Northbound that can explain it to you. Essentially, what it means is that your profitability is based on what you sell, not on a cash basis of what you buy. Okay, so we don't need to get into that right now, but it's absolutely critical for you just to understand that there's this thing called accrual accounting out there. It allows a buyer to create a valuation model, and I take down an action item that says from this month forward, I'm going to close my September books and I'm going to force my bookkeeper or somebody to be able to prove to me to say, what is my trailing 12 months seller's discretionary earnings with add backs so that I can start to calculate what my valuation is. Step one, if you don't know where you are, you can't know where you're going. The biggest thing, people always ask me, hey, Scott, you've exited a lot of business. What's the biggest thing that you found that entrepreneurs don't think about that costs them in their valuation? And if I had to boil it all the way down to one thing, I call it the 5-for-1 principle. And the way I think about it is taking every dollar and turning it into $5. So watch this example pretty closely. We got Willie's Wines, and Willie's Wines is making 500 grand a year. Okay. So you go, okay, he's got 2.5 million in revenue. He's making 500 grand a year. He's got a 4x offer on the table for his business based on his trailing 12-month accrual profitability. So he's got a $2 million deal on the table. Okay. That's pretty cool. The problem with that is that Willie wants to figure out how to maximize his valuation. So what does he do? He figures out a way to squeeze out $10,000 of more profit. That's it. He some supplier negotiation, some software that he doesn't want to use. So you think, wow, Willie just made 10 grand. No, Willie took advantage of the 5-for-1 principle and just made 50 grand. He put the $10,000 in his pocket today, and he took the multiple on the 10 grand to add another 40 grand in the year before he exit, and he walks away with another $50,000. Okay. When you think about that principle, there's two things I want you to think about. Number one, don't do anything that slows growth. I'm not talking about trying to be cost saving and slow growth, because that'll cost you valuation. What I'm talking about is making sure that you understand this principle in depth, because here's all the things that can happen to you. You run out of stock in your high season for two weeks out of the year. I ran out of stock. We just had this with a client. It happened to be on one of their best selling products. They lost $50,000 worth of profitability within 2 weeks. You know what the bad news is? It's not that they lost $50,000 within the last 2 weeks. It's that they lost $250,000 because the 5-for-1, they lost the multiple on that. That one supplier thing where they didn't order enough inventory and ran out due to a lead time cost them $250,000 on their valuation. Okay. That software program that you bought 6 months ago and you said you were going to use, but you never got around to it, but it's only $40 a month. I'll get around to figuring out how to use it. If I said to you it's only $40 a month, you say, yeah, I'll get around to using it. If I said to you 40 times 12 is $500 approximately, times 5 is $2,500. If I said to you, turn off that thing that you're not using for $2,500, would you agree? You'd say absolutely. So when you're thinking about growing your business, always keep the 5-for-1 multiple in process. That's one of the most important things I could ever teach you. Hopefully that's valuable content for you to think about how your decision making, and then think about things that you do that drive growth with that same principle. It's not all about cost savings. Learning a new launch strategy by being a part of Titan, or learning capabilities so that you can build a list and launch faster, has that exact same 5-for-1 leverage. It has it on the upside, right? So you want to think about accelerating the growth, but getting rid of these things. You got that ad campaign at 11 o'clock at night that's at 148% ACoS, and you go, maybe it'll turn around. I'll wait till the morning. No, kill it tonight, save the $50 because it's actually $250. Okay, so now you go, okay, Scott, I've got an understanding of where I'm going. I know my accrual accounting numbers. I know I need to grow with discipline, but I need to grow. I go to my next one, which is there is no business and exit strategy planning without forecasting. You need to forecast your cash and your inventory needs. You need to forecast your future profitability, and you need to use that to project a future valuation for your company. If you do not do this, you are driving your car with the front visor thing that protects the heat of the sun still on the car. And how safe does that feel? Okay, you can't do that without forecasting. Forecasting is what allows you to determine when is the right time to exit. And if you notice here, the time to exit in this graph is right here. Okay. If you wait until you're at the peak and your growth is starting to slow, what tends to happen is you don't get the multiple because the buyers want to buy things that are growing. And gosh forbid that something's starting to go like this. And the next thing you know, the buyer's trying to figure out, how do I catch a falling knife? And that's never fun. So you have to think about exiting right here, which means you have to think about starting going to buyers right here, which, as you can see, means you need to start thinking about planning for your exit right here. My mentor has done over $20 billion in exits. And he always said to me, Scott, the best time to figure out how you're going to exit a business is before you get into it in the first place. Anything after that, and you're too late. And I thought about that and I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, when you're building your company, he says, are you trying to build a paved road to a mansion or a really bumpy, choppy road to a really crappy cabin? And he says, if you don't plan your exit properly, you're not going to know what kind of a road you're building. Okay. If you're in 5 different categories with 7 different products that are all scattered, you're basically taking the hard road to getting to your biggest payday. Okay, so now I got to know my historicals. I got to know what what my prioritization is. I understand what's profitability. I know I need to do forecasting, and I got to figure out my timing. And I better start early planning my exit. Let's talk about the value of partnerships, which is, I think, why a lot of you are on here today. Here's some of the value of partnerships that we've been able to create for our clients and some of the things that are out there for you if you mastermind with the right people in life. Amazon can be a very, very lonely business. Bringing in this knowledge and network, I can easily say it this way. I've never met anybody that we've helped exit for 7 or 8 figures that hasn't had a group of people working with them, maybe not in their company, but working with them to solve the challenges that are out there today. And, candidly put, we've now done, hundreds of millions of dollars of exits at Northbound Group. And every one of them has seen the value of helping people help them think differently. Here's an example of what we did in the value of supplier terms. We had a business, highly seasonal, big cash flow issue, difficult to plan their orders. What we did is they had good supplier terms, 25% down, 75%, 30 days after shipping. The problem in the business, remember when I go all the way back to unlocking bottlenecks, was they couldn't order enough inventory. They were a new business, so they couldn't get a loan, and they didn't want to personally sign or guarantee things, so they were stuck in the business. Okay, we said, well, there is a solution to that. What we're going to do is we're going to get you terms of 20% down, 30% 60 days after shipping, or 120 days after order, and you won't have to pay the back half of that 150 days after shipping, or 210 days after you order. So you put that in context. They said, I'm going to buy the product in August. I'm going to make my next payment on December 15th, and I'm going to make my final payment in March of the following year. Okay. Now you can put in the chat log, who here would like to have those types of supplier terms? Okay. Even more importantly, who here would like Scott Dietz to guarantee that he could get you those supplier terms? And the answer to that is, of course I can't. Okay, but I want to explain to you how we got what we got so you can use that example in your own business.
And Scott, just to give you context here, Leiden took them through the full templates and cash flow forecasting.
Great. Yeah.
So the knowledge here is got a really good foundation for you to kind of take it further at this point.
Perfect. Yeah. So Leiden and I, we've worked on these together over the years. And what we found was, if you put the right story together, you can maximize the win for it. And here's what happened. What Leiden probably explained, if he didn't explain the valuation, he explained the supplier terms. Now look what the valuation change was. Oop, there we go. We renegotiated supplier terms. Yay, Scott, that's kind of exciting. Take a look at this. We had a company that had $245,000 of profitability before, and it was worth $800,000. We turned that profitability into $1.2 million profit because we could 5x our order. And look what happened. We turned a company that had a $3.5 million increase, and we exited it within the next 12 months. And why? Because the buyer said, holy man, you figured out a way to make yourself different in a highly seasonal market, and they paid us a multiple on that particular business. So getting more profitable here, that's really a lot of fun. Turning that profitability into a freedom number. We now have a young person in this industry, maybe 30 years old, that never ever has to work again. And this was all achieved within a year and a half worth of work. Okay. Go on to the next example. The value of partnerships. This one's kind of personal, near and dear to my heart, because if it wasn't for Athena and Dan and Titan, I wouldn't have gotten to know this person. And they were in a very tough, challenging situation. They didn't know how to grow a company. They had gotten a few products out. They were wondering about it. And we dug in and we said, okay, you need two things. You need a capability for learning how to grow. And so we worked with Leiden and said, help on the growth side. And then we said, we'll help you on the exit side once you get the growth side in place. And here's what happened. We went from 6 to 7 months of consecutive losses. The owner had over 200 grand of their own money in, and were facing failure. We worked on supplier negotiations. Leiden led that. We cut unprofitable marketplaces. We worked with the Northbound team on that as a joint project. We slashed the products that weren't working. We brought in outside cash. We strengthened the brand, and then we refocused on growth. And we took a company, and you can imagine if you say, hey, I'm thinking about starting a company to your spouse, and all of a sudden you're $200,000 in. That's not an economic issue. That's a heart issue. That's a real sadness issue. We turned the company around, and look at what happened. We got it to $500,000 in profit. And now if you look at the valuation on that particular business, we went up to $2.5 million valuation on a company. We got an extra amount paid for the inventory, $2.6 million in our pocket, a chance to earn another $2 million on what's called an earnout program. So the potential to take something that was literally not going to go anywhere, and in 2 years design a successful exit and make sure that you got $2.5 million now with a chance to get to $5 million. That's the value of working together and achieving a program where you say, I will work on the growth, and then I'll work with a partner to work on the exit and get the multiple on that particular growth. So, as you probably can tell, I'm very, very passionate about this topic. I'm excited to be here, with Dan and Athena, some of my most dearest trusted friends in this industry. This is what the potential is for you as you start to think about the big picture for your particular business. So you might be saying, okay, Scott, thanks for the content. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I'm going to go back to 2 hours a week. Every week, start thinking about the long term with the confidence that you have that you can do it. Get rid of the light switch mentality. Think about the thermometer mentality, and you can do this. I just had someone come up to me at the last time I was speaking at Amazon Prosper. They said, Scott, I listened to your presentation 3 years ago, just 3 years ago. I came home and I told my husband, I listened to this. I had this product roadmap thing that Scott showed. I worked with some people. I said to myself, I'm going to go exit my business for $5 million. My husband said, you're crazy, right? Come up to me at Amazon Prosper 3 years. They said, Scott, we're just so happy to meet you again. I was too nervous to come up to you the first time, which kind of made me laugh. I don't know why that would be. But they said, and the husband was there. I went home. I told my husband, I implemented the product plan that you said, just keep doing these products, the roadmap that you learned earlier this week. And I'm happy to tell you, we just passed $1 million of profit, and I want you to help us exit. We're going to get our $5 million goal together. And the husband turned and looked at her and said, I was never so happy to be wrong in my life. Took somebody that had no idea, just got into the industry, 3 years, $1 million worth of profit by following the knowledge that you learned here and applying an exit strategy mentality. And we'll have multiple buyers for that in that 5-for-1 multiple of $5 million exit, which leads me to my last slide, which is in 1, 2, or 3 years, what's the graph that you want to have look like, and what will your number be? I guarantee you, virtually guarantee you, it's going to be more than half of it is going to come when you exit. And if you work within a program that can help you get there, and you work with a knowledge of what you're building toward, which is an exit, your number will be your dream number. Thank you.
Yes, Scott, there you go. There's the Scott that continues to inspire everyone in this industry and is just a fountain of knowledge when it comes to this stuff. How's people feeling about that? Give Scott some feedback in the chat box. Scott, I don't know if you can see that in the chat box, but a lot of love coming through. And as well as kind of the inspiration that brings and the stories there, the fortunate thing is we've been in this game now, Scott, a few years, and we've kind of seen the full cycle of this, and we're able to tell those stories with such pride and such confidence because we've seen those transformations and the people have been through, and not only that, the experience that comes through in this concepts and what we know this business needs to look like to really maximize that valuation, and ultimately how simple the plan is. The tactics along the way are more difficult, but how simple, like, stick to this plan is. And if you're consistently focused in executing that and just sticking to the plan, the goal and the results at the end of it is so real. And if anything, he's just getting bigger and bigger as this industry grows. It's just such an amazing time for everyone that's kind of in the space right now building these businesses. So thank you so much for taking the time to be on and share that with everyone.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I have to read a few of these because they're just too much. Very impressive. Thank you, Scott. Wow, amazing. This one cracked me up. I feel like Jesus just walked in. Eye opening. Yes, amazing. Wow, Scott, mind blown, so inspiring. Yeah, just wanted to read that one. Okay, good.
you crack me up, Athena.
So Scott, thank you, buddy. We're gonna get to, we've got VIP Q&A right at the end of this, and I'm going to be taking questions there and answering some of Scott's points there. So for my VIPs in the room, definitely drop them in the Q&A. But thank you, Scott, for taking the time and being on with us today.
Absolutely, Dan. Love it. And thanks, Athena. You know, our joy of working together goes way, way back. You guys mean a ton to me. So take care. Appreciate you, buddy. So guys, listen, we're going to get to our major prizes here in a little bit, and then we're going to go on and do a Q&A, and I'm going to give you my perspective on kind of wrapping this out. But I just kind of want to start by saying how grateful I am that you've taken the time to come on this journey with us. This is something that Athena and I have wanted to do for some time now. And I'm so glad that we've done it. The energy and the commitment this week from every single one of you has been more than we ever expected. This isn't easy stuff. And without access to Titan, it can be frustrating to kind of get towards that end goal and get your head around some of the strategies and the tactics that we've taught you this week. But what I'm overwhelmed by and completely outstanding by, I'm so proud of you for, is that you've persevered, you've adapted, and you've overcome every challenge we've thrown at you. And it's exactly that. And that's everything it means to be a Titan. Not only that, your support for one another, your support for each other in the Facebook group has been outstanding. And that means the world to us, because the together we are stronger mindset is everything we stand for in Titan. And you guys have genuinely demonstrated that this week. You see, this business can be hard. I'm not going to get away from that. This business can be hard. This business can be lonely. Who here has felt lonely in this business? Give me some feedback in the chat box. Give me some feedback on Facebook. If you felt lonely in this business, you've woken up.
Lonely so much. Definitely lonely.
Yeah, your
very much
wife or your
believe.
husband's gone off to work, your kids have gone off to school, and it's kind of just you in your office or in your study or whatever that looks like, just alone at the laptop, trying to figure out where to go next with this business. And ultimately, this business can get on top of us sometimes. I still have this now, even at our level, with the team that we've got. This business, the problems just amplify themselves. It can get very much on top of us. But where I find sort of solace and where I find strength is in our community that kind of enables us to master it. It enables us to conquer it. And ultimately, it enables us to profit from it in a way that's just not possible in any other business or any other walk of life. You see, Athena and I, we created Titan Network for this and that very reason, for that exact reason. If I look back at my own journey and I sort of take you back, it wasn't the times where I tried to go at something alone at my laptop that delivered kind of those major breakthroughs. It wasn't those times of loneliness where I found wins and I succeeded. It was always, and I look back at the last 10 years of my career and my success online in e-commerce, and then in the last 7 years on Amazon, it was always when I surrounded myself with the people who had walked the path I was walking. They'd achieved what I wanted to achieve and could show me exactly what I needed to do to achieve the same results. That saying of you are the equal of kind of the 5 people around you could not be more true in this industry. And right now, you might be sat there thinking you want to go away and implement everything that you've learned this week, and you want to go and do it all out on your own. And while you might feel like that's the right thing to do, it's not the smart thing to do. And I'm telling you that from a decade of experience. And as Scott's just said, helping people exit from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in combined exits. A good friend of ours, never having to work again. That individual that Scott just mentioned that we met a few years ago, had recently exiting for millions of dollars. And I was involved in that because my company was involved in that. It's just life transforming amounts of money. But it's very difficult to achieve on your own. And whilst it might feel like the right thing to do in the moment because you've kind of got the stuff that you need to work on, it's not the smart thing to do, because actually executing and actually walking through and moving quickly in this business is a completely different thing. Now, if you surround yourself with committed people that can help you, you move so much faster in achieving those massive results that ultimately get that result. Scott mentions our friend there that did it in 3 years, start to finish 3 years. So if you're already a year into this business, that's only another 18 months, 2 years, and you're achieving that same result. And to be honest, now you can do it faster than ever before because there's so much money and so much appetite and so much hunger in the industry. Athena and I, one of our Titan leaders, literally just exited the business in 2 years for a multi-7-figure sum and got a 9x multiple on the business. And that can be achieved. This is realistic, providing you have the right strategy, you have the right plans, you have the right tools, the resources, and clarity around you to do it. So with that is exactly why Athena and I this week have invited you to join Titan. The very fact that you're here today on our 6th session today, and I'm just looking at the comments in front of me, tells me that you are a Titan, and it tells me that you have the fire within you to succeed. And it tells me that given the right resources, the right support, the right training, you will grow this business to heights that you never thought possible before. And you will recoup any investment in joining Titan 10 times over if all you do is show up, commit yourself to being successful. The cost of all the growth and the sales and the revenue left on the table. I've talked a lot this week about all the money left on the table in gap analysis and wasted ad spend. All of that, all those sales left on the table by not surrounding yourself with people of like-minded, that collective, the power of collective contribution costs you 100 times more than it ever would to join a community like Titan. And you have to ask yourself, how much do you really, really want to hit your goals? And then consider, what are you doing outside of your own comfort zone to go out there and achieve those goals? Because one thing is true, and this is one thing I've learned in my own journey. It's not about sort of your comfort zone. Success lies outside of your comfort zone. If you're sat comfortable right now, you're sat going at this alone, doing your daily routine in your house, just opening the laptop and coasting along, success doesn't live there. Success lives from pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. It lives from pushing yourself to new heights that you never thought possible before. And it's never about how much resource you have. It's always about how resourceful you are. And it's ultimately that mentality, your resourcefulness, that determines whether you're going to be successful or not. So with that, I want to wrap this up with an exercise, and I want everyone to feedback and engage here. I want you to go ahead and type in that dream number that we calculated on Sunday. Think back 6 days ago now, 5-6 days ago now, and think back to that dream number, and let's share with each other on Facebook in the comments and in chat in Zoom. Let's share with each other, what is that dream number that everyone's working towards here? And go ahead and post that in. So I've got, what we got, Athena? We've got Sharon saying 1.8 million, Jesse 1.7 million, Monica 2.8 million.
Yeah, we've got a lot of 1.2, 1.3, 1.9, 2.5, 5 million.
Kathleen, Jenny 2.3
Vivek,
million.
yeah, 10 million. That's my guy right there. Hi,
Nicola
Vivek.
4.5
Hello,
million.
April with her 13 million. Sorry, Dan. 13 million from April. Daryl says 1.86. 2 million from Jerry. 1.2 from Tangi.
And over on Facebook, we've also got Megan 800,000, Conan 2.5 million. Who else we got there? We got Peter saying 1.4, Anil 2.5 million, Susan 1.5 million, Madeline 1.8 million. Scott just broke down a plan that showed you how on a very conservative valuation, you can achieve that with 20 products, doing an average of $20 in sale price, an average of 20% margin. We've shown you this week how aggressively you can go after a market with a product. And we've shown you every step you need to take to doing the research and launching and succeeding with those products. So if that's your number, what I now want to do is I want to bring it home. And this is the important part. And I want you to write this down in front of you, because this is what's going to carry the momentum for you as an individual, as a human being, as a person. Why is that number important to you? I want you to write that down on the pad, on the piece of paper in front of you. And then I want you to share a little bit of that with us in the chat box. Why is it you want to achieve that dream number? We all want to generate money. We all want to make cash. Yes, cash enables a lot of things. We all live good quality lives from producing money. But the money isn't important. And that's the thing that I've learned in my journey. It's not the money that is important. It's what the money enables. So maybe that's traveling the world with your family. Maybe that's being able to take care of loved ones at the time of need in private hospitals. Maybe you want to be able to upgrade your living environment for your kids, your folks, whatever that looks like. Maybe you just want to be able to put your kids through college. Why is it you're working towards this goal? Because as entrepreneurs, it's not so much the cash. Yes, the achievements of the money is important. We're all very competitive. But often there's a much deeper underlying reason of why we do what we do. And there's a reason why we're working towards something much bigger. So Athena, I really want to understand this.
Because they're making me tear up already. Rachel says to support my family and spend time with my future kids, because my mom couldn't spend time with me because she was always working so hard. That actually gave me goosebumps, sweetheart. That's amazing. Free time so I can invest in spreading love and well-being for my family, friends, and the wider world. Security. I have a special needs son, so I can really live the life with him. So he can live a good life after I'm gone. Freedom to do what I want, to give to who I want, to have my grandchildren, grandnephews, and grandnieces. So you see how this money is very much tied into your why, is tied into your passion, into your life, so much more than just the material. It really looks like everyone that's answering, it's this much greater purpose. It means freedom, taking care of parents, providing a way for the future of my kids to be able to give to those less fortunate and in need, things that I could have never done before. I want to leave my 9-to-5, travel the world, and help my kids, secure my family, take care of my parents as they've grown older now. I want them to travel. I want them to see the world. I want to achieve my dream number to support my family and future kids. I love this. You guys are cute.
And I love it. Megan just pops on Facebook. This one really resonates with me. I want my daughter to know that she can do this too. That's one of my big drivers for my kids.
Yeah, that's 100% mine too. And my kids are getting a bit older. My son's 14. My other son is 10. And I see it in their actions. Not only do they build their own businesses, but they want to help and involve the rest of their friends and such. And they're actually leading a group within Titan for youth. So, you feel like you're inspiring them. You feel like maybe they're seeing what you're doing, but when you actually see them acting upon it, it's just incredible.
So guys, what I want you to do next, so we've written down that dream number in front of us on that piece of paper. You've listed out a few reasons why that's important and why you have to achieve that because of the impact it's going to have for you, your loved ones, those people around you, whatever your reason why is. I now want you to commit to when are you going to achieve this by? And I want you to go ahead.
Sorry, Dan, before you do that, can I read just one more because it's freaking cute? Gustavo says, Dan, comfort lives outside of your comfort zone. Cannot put in better words, which is exactly why I'm here. I found such a rush of energy that was lost. And I look forward to doing what I love and sharing it with like-minded people like Titan to enjoy this journey. That was just so powerful. Sorry, keep going.
Guys, what I want you to do is go ahead, as I said, and I want you to commit to when you're going to achieve this by. So on that piece of paper in front of you, write down a month and year. We don't need to go specific to the day, but a month and year based on kind of what you've just picked up there from Scott and everything we've been talking about of when you will achieve this by. What is your date? And then I want you to go ahead and post that in the comments on Facebook, post that in the chat in Zoom and tell me what your date is. So I've got Sharon coming in. My goal is to exit 2023 August, I believe that is. I'm really rubbish with the numbers of months. Thomas, 5 years. We've got Michaela saying June 2022. Susie, December 2024. Diego, October 2025. 24 months from William. Wow, so we've got Magdalena, we've got 3 years. Arena, by the end of 2024. On Facebook, we've got Peter saying October 2024. David saying October 2025. Anu saying 2.5 years.
I love
How
that.
much?
You know what's crazy? Sorry,
Yep.
Dan. You know what's crazy is, people would say like, oh, it'd be so amazing if we had $1 million, or it'd be so great if whatever. But just seeing so many of the people around us able to actually physically achieve that. When you say I'm going to have an exit for $5 million in 18 or 24 months, it's 100% real. It's not like pie in the sky. Oh, wouldn't it be cool? It's like actually happens constantly. It's actually happened to 3 people that I know of in the last 2 weeks, which is bonkers. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's almost becoming normal, which is crazy. In me stating that, like 4, 5, 6 years ago, you'd hear about the odd person in the industry doing this, and now it's becoming normal. It's so many of my friends around me have gone from humble surroundings to being multi-millionaires on almost a weekly basis. Like Athena and I, like she said, I've been involved in 4 exits in the last 6 weeks. I've had 4 friends in the last few weeks exit and share what they've exited for. And it's life-changing amounts of money that's going to affect their immediate surroundings, but also their kids and their legacy. And there's just no better time. And it's crazy you say that, Athena, because it is becoming normal. Now, one thing I want to know and get some feedback on from everyone is how much more have you gotten done in the last 5 days compared to normal? How much more momentum have you created in your business in the last 5 days compared to normal? And I want you to give me that feedback. Give me that feedback in the chat box. Let me know how much more you've got done. So Monica saying a lot. Marley saying, don't even know if I could put a number on it, so much. Gustavo, 3 times more. Sammy, I've regained the passion for the job. Sharon, impossible to calculate. Michaela, I just got the motivation I needed to really apply myself and focus. On Facebook, I'm seeing Anil saying 10x, Anu saying 5 times more. Yaniv saying 2 years into Amazon, 0 profit. But now got new brand and now not giving up. Jill, so much that I maxed out my mobile hotspot while traveling this week. David, 1,000%. Ruben, double, also helped cut down the time wasting tactics. Absolutely, Ruben. There's so much of that in this space. Monica, petrol has been thrown on the fire.
Oh my
5
God,
days.
5 days more than, sorry, Dan, 5 days learned more than my last 10 Amazon courses before Titan. I 20x my productivity. Don't let this stop with these 5 days. Keep the momentum going. Petrol has been thrown on the fire. I love this.
And I just want to, the reason I mention that is I just want you to sort of take a step back and look at the environment that was created and understand what's driven that. You're in a group surrounded by like-minded people. We've cut out all the noise and focused you on exactly what you need to do, the exact steps to move you forward that matter, giving you the clarity and the confidence to execute on those steps. That power of collective contribution and that power of collective thinking and group thinking and that like-mindedness is what has created that momentum. Do you see how having the support and the resources of Titan and access to experts and people ahead of you, like-minded people, would actually help you sort of move faster in your business and move faster than you ever have done previously in your Amazon journey today? Do you see the power of that, which was really the objective of this week, was to take away the blinkers and allow you to see clearly for what you need to do to go and achieve your goal? Miali's saying, absolutely, thank you. Athena, for giving me the push I needed. Rachel, yes, it's so nice to be surrounded with like-minded people. So if you look at kind of your visual kind of number right now, your visual dream number, and we take the understanding that success loves speed, momentum drives success. And this week, the entire purpose of this week was to prove that and show that to you. And I want you to visualize what that success would do for your loved ones, yourself, and those around you. How much more tangible does that success, that dream number, that outcome that you're looking for, that reason why, how much more tangible is that now you've done this week? How much more tangible does that feel? Go ahead and give me feedback. How much more tangible does it feel achieving that success, achieving that visualization of why you're doing this, your reason why? Yeah. Mary saying 3 to 4 times, Athena. What else we got? Burnt. It feels so much more reachable. I feel like I have so much more clarity and a plan now. Gerard, 10x. It's in my grasp from Marcus. Sharon saying 1,000%. Yeah, Jerry saying Scott Deeks brought it home. Absolutely. Monica, within reaching distance. I have a dream in front of me and it's possible. Gwen saying 10x. Wendy saying 100 times I can make it. Any more there, Athena, that really jump out at you?
So many. It was just privately messaging lots of hearts to people. Sorry about that. It's so easy to stagnate and get depressed, especially when there's problems with COVID, stock, shipping, setbacks. This has given me such a boost of adrenaline to reach my goals. Yes, Katrina, I love that. My number is at the top of the stairway now. Finally, count those steps and I know exactly what to do. That's so powerful, Jim.
So guys, I want you to answer this question. How much faster do you think you will achieve your goals if you had this level of support, access to experts, like-minded people, people like myself, Justin, Brendan, Lydon, as well as fellow Titans, and you had access to all of those resources and ultimately that unfair advantage the entire year round, not just 5 days out of 365. How much faster do you think you can go and achieve that goal and attain that goal that you have? How much faster do you think you can move in your business by just committing yourself to surrounding yourself with the resources and people you need access to cut out the noise, to give you the clarity, and to move forward in completing the actions that you need to take to ultimately achieve that goal and what's important to you, your loved ones, and why you're doing this in the first place? How much faster? 1,000 times. I'm feeling I'm riding a Bugatti right now. Yes, a Bugatti. These resources, I believe I can achieve my goals in 90 days. Huge increase, 10x. I can definitely see how much quicker and snowball exponentially can grow. And really, that is the point. The reason I'm telling you this is I don't want you missing out on the amazing opportunity that is presented to us in this industry right now. And if you get this right, it not only affects you, it affects everyone around you, your children, your legacy. And we know that together we are stronger. And by joining Titan, by becoming a Titan, by joining our community and accessing these resources and all this support all year round, the momentum that you're going to build, the speed at which you're going to achieve your goals, and that snowball effect, you will not achieve anywhere else. And you will certainly not achieve it on your own, going at this industry alone. The link to schedule a call with Athena and myself and the team is going to be popped into the chat box. It's going to be popped into the comments on Facebook. We're presenting the opportunity to you, but only you can take the first step to committing to achieving that goal and being successful. Only you can push yourself outside of your comfort zone and surround yourself with the resources, the team, the access, everything you need to make that a reality. And that's my message here for you today. Step outside of your comfort zone, click that link, schedule a call with our team, and let us welcome you to the first step of the next 1 to 2 to 3 years of executing your plan and achieving a multi-million-dollar exit. That's the reality of the decision you have to make today. So Athena, I know we're going to move on to prizes and
sorry, I have some things to read to you. Okay, it's just too much. Second year as a Titan, no other course or group has given me this kind of support and information from what I've gotten from Titan. After the Cancun Mastermind, I was able to grow an extra 20% just by changing my mindset and knowing I had the support I needed. Thanks, Athena and Dan. And then here's another one. Had my exit earlier this year after a year of Titan, life-changing. Money is just part of the story. I made so many friends, helped others on the way, got my son to join me, and now we're ready to repeat. Titan has been absolutely instrumental.
So guys, if you want to join us on this journey, you want to be a part of this community, you want to surround yourself with like-minded people, Athena's going to go ahead and drop a link now into the Zoom chat and onto the Facebook comments, and we'll get that pinned. And we have opened up a bunch of call slots where you can jump on the call. It's no pressure. We're going to see if it's a good fit for each other. We're going to go through the detail where you are at in your business. And there's one thing we can promise you. You're going to come away from that call with more clarity over what you need to do than what you have right now. And even if we're not a good fit for each other, you're going to come away with value, clarity, and a plan of action. But in most cases, given the fact you've spent 6 days, 18 hours, and jumped through all of these challenges, persisted through the challenges, I know you're already a Titan, and I would welcome you to our community. We are very particular about who we allow into Titan, because Titan is only as strong as its community, and its community is only as strong as the mindset of its people. We nurture that mindset. We look after it like a good garden. We make sure that everyone within Titan has that abundance, has that positivity, and has that fire and desire and burning drive within them to succeed. And the fact that you're here with us on day 6 tells me you are that person. You are good enough, you are strong enough, and you are a Titan. And with that, you have my personal invitation to come along and speak to us, to come and become a part of our family, become a part of our community. And let's get after achieving that goal together. Let's get after that multi-million-dollar exit together. And one thing I will personally promise you is we will help you get there faster and more powerful and more strategically, and maximize that valuation better than anywhere else or you could ever achieve alone. So Athena, you've dropped those links, guys. The links are there. Make sure you go and go ahead and schedule a call. There are limited call slots. We've only got a limited team, and when those times have gone, they've gone. So jump in and do that. But Athena, is there anything you want to add to that before we kind of jump over to the prizes and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so guys, there are certain decisions, there's certain moments, there's certain things that we do that really do affect the rest of our lives. I really do feel like this is one of them. If I hadn't taken a chance to do certain things in my life, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I'm so grateful to be in this position where I have such an amazing group of people and I've been able to build what I've been able to build. And the truth is sometimes it's scary, sometimes it feels like you can't. And if it was easy, everyone would do it. That's the little secret, right? If there was no fear, if there's no barriers, if there was no lack of whatever it is, then everyone would do it. The whole point is it is hard, but I'm going to give you a little secret. You guys are different. You're a different breed of cat. You are entrepreneurs, and I know you are because you're still here 6 days later. The week would have already stopped 5-6 days ago. It would have ended. So I remember growing up and feeling like I was a little bit different. You know, other people would love to stick with the norm and they just wanted to have their 9 to 5 and just kind of live normal lives. And a lot of the people on here really resonate with the fact that we can do bigger, we can dream bigger, and we can really create an impact in our lives, in the lives of others, in our families, but also with other people. And that's one of the beautiful things that you see within Titan is that a lot of our guys who become the most successful Titans then give back and they become our leaders and they help give someone a hand and say, let me show you how to do this. And so in Titan, what would normally take somebody sometimes, you know, hours, weeks, even months to figure out, you can have a 5-minute conversation with someone like Brendan, someone like Dan, Justin, Scott. So when you have access to this level of genius, you're saving yourself years and hundreds of thousands of dollars in mistakes. We haven't really talked about that, but we've all made mistakes in picking wrong products, not getting the logistics done correctly, spend on PPC, spend on all kinds of things. And so what you're avoiding is the years, the blood, sweat, and tears. And sometimes when you make those massive mistakes, it deters you from continuing on. So I think that for me, this is one of those things that could really make a big difference in your world. And so I want to speak to you personally. I don't normally take these calls myself, but I've literally been opening my calendar to like 1 a.m. and just being on the phone while I get groceries and while I do everything I can, because you guys are so special. I can tell from your energy. I want to personally meet you. So I've opened my calendar. Even tomorrow, Saturday, I'm open all freaking day. Sunday, I literally just opened everything because I want to meet all of you. So go ahead and book a call. We'll have a little chat. If it's for you, great. If it's not for you, that's fine too. But I just would love to connect with you and see if it is.
And there's one more thing. I think there's one more thing I'll share. And it's the definition of insanity. If you've been in this business for any amount of time, actually, I actually want to understand that. Go ahead and drop in the comments and drop in the business, how long you've been working at building this business. How much time have you been putting into building this business in months, years, whatever that is for you? So I've got Katrina, 4 years, Nicola, 1.5 years, Thomas, 6 months, Jam A, 3 years, 2017, so that's 4 years, George, 9 months, 2 years, 6 months, 9 months, 2 years, 1.5 years. And then tell me, what's the number one thing that stopped you from progressing or hitting your goals? What's the one thing that's held you back in rapid growth? What's that one thing that if you could conquer would kind of make everything else easier or unnecessary and just enable you to grow so much faster? So I got Katrina, procrastination, lack of confidence. Nicola, time and mental space to do it. George, myself, my own confidence. Knowledge and time from Jared. Naomi, money, action, and time. Rachel, cash flow and time. Gary, doubters. Totally understand that, Gary. Kareem, time and knowledge. On Facebook, cash flow. Wrong product, wrong mentors, wrong advice, not knowing the correct next step. That was Mary, I think, or Mary, which held me back, lack of knowledge, specifics in strategy. So if you know this, you know these things have held you back, you know these are your blockers, what are you doing to change that? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If you leave this conversation today and you don't take that leap of confidence and jump on the phone with Athena, Sophia, Jenny, Desiree, and our team, what are you changing that's going to make tomorrow different? What's going to make tomorrow different today and today different to yesterday? If you stick to your current track that you're on, I'll give you a secret. Nothing's going to change. We're going to meet a year from now and you're going to be on that same track, sticking to that same comfort zone, having that lack of confidence, lack of clarity and strategy, because you and only you are the one that can change that. Breaking that insanity loop comes from stepping outside of that comfort zone and committing to a new path in life. If I look back and think about my sort of milestone breakthroughs, I use this analogy: the smallest hinges swing the largest doors. And what I mean by that is a small decision today will set you up on a completely new track in life and will end up in a massive result 2 years from now. And that small decision that we're proposing is to go ahead and apply for Titan. You have our personal invite. You stuck with us 6 days. And if you really look inside yourself, cash flow, ranking strategies, all these things are surface issues. They're easy to overcome and solve. We have all of the resources in Titan that can solve those things for you very quickly. This week, we've given you tools and strategies and resources to solve all that stuff and given you the exact step-by-step on how to do it. But if you look inside of you, you will find the reason why is much deeper. And I'm challenging you as a final challenge to step outside, acknowledge that, confront that, step onto a new path, and come and join us in Titan. We've got you. We are your people. We will give you that confidence. You are strong enough. You are good enough. And we will show you the way on how to achieve that success faster than you ever thought possible. And I just wanted to leave everyone with that mindset before we jump over into the prizes, Athena, because sometimes it takes someone calling out the bullshit to get you to take action.
Yeah.
And the bullshit is your own bullshit. It's that definition of insanity.
It is. And the truth is we all push each other. Dan pushes me, I push Dan, the leaders push each other, the members push each other. It's like, if you have a real friend in your life that says, yeah, I see that you got off that horse, get right back on, and they push you forward with love, that's actually a real friend. Those are the people you want in your life because they see your potential even when you don't. And that's the thing that I love so much about Titan is there's no Titan left behind. We just keep going. We're stronger together. That's the whole point. So I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys. I'm seeing some of you guys booking calls with me and I can't wait to talk to you. So yeah, Dan, we've got a very special lady. I don't know if you'd be able to actually bring her on because I want to surprise her. And she's actually been the most hardcore, the most helpful that I've seen this entire challenge. And I wanted to start off with her and give her a big prize because she's really embodying the spirit of Titan, which is to be ambitious, go for it, but also help others along the way. Is it cool? Can we bring her on as a panelist?
Yeah, so we just need to know the name and then it'll take us a second to invite them.
Okay, so her name is Sharon Chapman, SHARON CHAPMAN. If you can have her come on.
Okay, so we're just getting the technology going here in the background. Takes a second.
Okay, I'm really excited about this one. She's been
Sharon, no, this is happening. And guys, by the way, I'm closer. This is my laptop camera.
No, I kind of let her know. Yeah, I kind of let her know, because I didn't want her to be in her bathrobe and I get her on camera. So I just said, I prompted her that we're gonna have her come on. So anyway, let's have her come
Sharon,
on.
you should get an invite. You should have had an invite pop up on, is she in Zoom, yeah? Yeah, it should have had an invite pop up on Zoom. We won't be able to do this on Facebook, Athena. So if they're on Facebook, that'll be a different scenario. But Sharon just declined the invite.
No, Sharon, you need to come on here, girlfriend.
She's rejoining. There you go. She's rejoining.
Okay. I'm excited to meet her.
And guys, what you're doing is
guys.
I can see the comments filling up quite quickly, guys. So while we're doing this, go ahead and click on that link and jump in on your call. Roll the drums, Rubaid says.
There we go. Okay. So in the meantime, I'll start giving away some more prizes because I don't
Sharon, Sharon's on. She just needs to unmute and turn her camera on. So
okay, cool. All right, we'll do that. And in the meantime, we have a couple other people that I want to, and she says accepted. Okay, so turn your camera on, girlfriend. We got you. Cool. Okay, so panelist, here she is. You have to unmute. Sharon, we're not doing this again because in real time it doesn't work. In the meantime, I'm going to give 2 prizes to 2 incredible human beings that have just been in here giving so much love, helping other people. And they actually happen to both be Titans. I didn't know that. I chose them because of how much they've been helpful. And then when I realized they were Titans, I was like, obviously. So oh, there she is. Hi, Sharon. So let me just give away this and then we'll go to Sharon. So Miss Angela Terenblash, you are getting a listing makeover, and so is Sammy. And we'll get back to you guys on why in just a second, but we've got Sharon. Hi, Sharon. So nice to meet you. I think you're still muted, honey.
Do you want to try talking, Sharon? No, okay, I don't think that's going to work, Theme. So let's go ahead and make the announcement.
Okay, cool. So Sharon, we had two kind of grand prizes, right? One was a $5,000 cash prize, and one was to join Titan. And I actually wanted to give you the option to choose between the two, because I just think that you've been so spectacular. You've literally been in there giving people advice, helping them, showing them the way. And that's just really been amazing. And I've seen that you've done every single bit of homework. You've been out there on social, just absolutely a goddess. So Sharon, we absolutely love you. And so you have your choice between the 5K in cash or the Titan membership. And I just wanted to find out from you what you would prefer. I guess we're going to have to do
do it in the chat box. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that, Dan. That was a cool idea until it wasn't. Awesome. Okay, so Sharon, you can go ahead and give us your feedback in the chat, unless you can get yourself unmuted. And if you can get yourself unmuted. So what do you guys think? Should she take the 5,000 in cash, or should she take the membership to Titan, and what that would do for her and her future? Let's see, we're getting a lot of votes for Titan. Nobody's saying cash so far. Titan, 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 Titan. Okay, so that heart, is that Titan, Sharon? Yeah?
Yeah, she can't, her speakers aren't working,
Okay,
Athena.
cool.
So yeah, we'll
Okay,
go ahead
cool.
and we'll do it in the
All
chat.
right.
We'll follow up, Sharon.
Okay, perfect, Sharon. Sorry, we love you, and welcome to Titan. That's amazing. Okay, darling, thank you so much. Sorry about that, guys. That was supposed to be like this really cool moment, but technology did not work out. Okay, perfect. All right, so we've got Sharon who won that. And then we're going to go to Sammy, who has just been unbelievable. He's getting a listing makeover. Angela's getting a listing makeover. So you guys, all of you, just message me so that you can claim those prizes. And then we've got Miss Nicole Dahl, who is also going to be getting a grand prize. She can take the 5,000 in cash, or she can change that into Titan, whatever she prefers. But Nicole Dahl, are you out there? I got to actually speak to her the other day. She's a single mom. She's an absolute rock star, and she's just killing it. And she's been in there. She's been helping, inspiring, and just really going for it. So I wanted to reward her as well. And then we have another lovely person. Look how many females I'm picking. Alexandria Stretton, you win a Titan membership, madam. You have been, again, just in there doing every single bit of homework, like really, really paying attention to every single person in there when they have a question. You've been one of the most engaged people in this entire thing. And then we've got David Ryan, who is going to be getting a platinum ticket to our event. He has also been in there, one of the most engaged people in the groups. Oh, and yes, Dan, Sammy is a man, obviously. So we're giving men prizes too, not just women. And by the way, guys, I had a very easy way to do this, because as an admin of the Facebook group, I can see the most engaged people, and I was able to actually research out. So this was not just done randomly. Like, I really took my time to see who's been in there, who's been really going for it. And if there's anyone else that you feel is deserving of something fabulous and I missed you, message me. I'll take a look, and I always have prizes everywhere. Just don't worry about it. It's like a mom thing. You always have a prize because you want to, bribe them into taking photos and stuff. Trust me. And then, okay, so then Miss Jennifer Johnson has a heart of absolute gold. She just joined Titan this week, and I'm actually giving her an extra ticket to the event so that she can bring someone with her to accompany her to the event. And yeah, those are all of our prizes, Dan.
Amazing. So that's
Jennifer Baker says she deserves a necklace. Jennifer Baker, you will get a necklace. Yes, girl.
So that's two $5,000 cash prizes, 2 Titan memberships. I believe we've given away 2 listing makeovers. There was one, but I think we've given away 2. And
oh, sorry, I was with twos.
We'll do that. And then I believe how many seconds there?
So we did 2 tickets. So I just did two,
Two
two,
tickets.
2, and 2.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Guys, there you go. For those winners, we will follow up. Athena's taken note of that. We'll get out your contact details and we'll follow up, and we'll sort out the cash prizes. We'll sort out your onboarding into Titan, and we'll take care of all of that. So guys, that is it for the first ever Double Your Sales Challenge. It has been a journey. I cannot wait to see all of you who are joining Titan and becoming members. I cannot wait to see you grow and flourish and get to know each other. We've got an event and a members mastermind in November in Orlando, which is going to be amazing. It's a 5-day event. We're going to sit down. We're going to laugh together. We're going to eat together. We're going to have beers together, and we're going to talk about your business. And I just can't wait to be having this conversation a year from now and seeing the growth in you as a person, in your business, and then hearing about the impacts that has. So if you want to be that person, if that's you and you can see yourself on that journey, that link is in the comments, that link is in the chat. There's a few call slots left. Go ahead and schedule a call with us. Let's see if it's a good fit for each other. There's no pressure. And like I say, one thing we can promise you is you will have more clarity when you finish that call than when you started. The clarity of that call is a bonus in itself. So with that, we are going to go ahead and jump over to our VIP session. Thank you to everyone who has been on this journey this week with us. It's been a lot of fun, and I've felt more passionate this week than I have in a long time, and I'm very grateful to everyone here for giving that to me. So thank you for that, and thank you to you, Athena, for being on this week with me and doing this. Thank you to all of our wonderful leaders and special guests. So we've got Justin Dyson, Brendan Pettit, Lydon Smithers, Scott Dietz, Michelle Barnum-Smith. We had Anthony on from PickFu. We had Tyler on from Amped. And all of the support from the wider Titan leadership, Alicia and everyone else, Matt Phipps, Mark Norton taking care of everyone in the Facebook group, and all the other people I saw taking care of people, as well as all the Titan leaders and mentors that have been supporting in the background in helping us get the training together and the comments. We wouldn't have been able to do any of this without you. And that's the impact we all have as Titan leaders and mentors and members.
There's such an outpour of love, and a lot of it's to you. You have you've not slept this whole week, and you've given so much energy. People are saying they want to bottle your energy, which is adorable. But there's just saying that this is beyond words, that nothing has ever compared to it, that your generosity and your heart and your care and all of these things. So we really, really genuinely, all of us, your team, myself, everyone here, we all really appreciate you, Dan. So thank you for bringing it completely.
Yeah, thank you.
Then, yeah, sorry, just one last thing before I say goodbye to the Facebook posse, and we're about to jump over to the VIPs. So guys, just remember, these are little moments in our lives where we're making choices, and you always make little choices every day, and some of them have a really big impact on your future, and some are not such an impact in your future. But this, I know for a fact, just from experience, the difference between somebody who has this group and has this support and has this team and has this love than not. And so do me a favor, just connect with me, and I promise you, we'll just chat and we'll just see if it's right. So even if you feel like you're not qualified, that's okay. Let's just have a chat and see. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and this is a dream come true. So thank you so much for having me on this, Dan. Thanks for everything you guys have been doing, and it's been really cool. So
you've been a rock star, Athena. So guys, one last ask. You saw I put a video in the Facebook group. I will drop you an email about this. If you could take 2 minutes out of your day for me today, or for you guys in Australia and later time zones tomorrow, and just quickly record a short video testimonial about your experience this week, that would mean the world to Athena and I, and that's going to help so many other people understand the impact and the clarity they can gain if they have the right format and they have the right leadership and the right people around them. I posted a link actually in Facebook. There's a video that said, "What do you think?" And there's a special link there. And all you have to do is click that link. And you can do this from, I'm looking at that camera, so I've been looking at it all week. All you have to do is click that link from your mobile or your laptop computer, record a short message, 60 seconds, no more than that, and then click finish, and you don't have to do anything else. The system takes care of everything else. So can I get your commitment in the chat box and on comments that you'll go ahead and do that for me? Can I ask that of you as a final action item for this week? And actually, I'm going to cover the action items. I forgot to do that. So go ahead and can I ask that of you? Give me your commitment in the chat box. Yeah, will do. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Abigail. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Orna. Thank you, Candice. Thank you, Gary.
Oh, Dan, I have to tell you something. Somebody's like, this is the end of camp. I'm so sad. No, it's just the beginning. That's the cool part. We're going to see each other. We're going to London next Sunday, by the way, if any of you guys want to hook up with us there. We're going to be in Orlando in like just over a month. And so this party continues all day, every day. And that's
And when you join Titan, I mean, the party is every day inside of Titan Network. This isn't the end of camp. Camp's just starting. The difference is, are you going to join? Are you going to join? That's the problem. That's the question. Are you going to commit to continuing this camp? That's the decision, and that's on you. That is your decision to make. But yeah, this shows up every day. Brendan was on earlier. He jumped over to a work party. That was a Zoom meeting, not a webinar. So it was like everyone's on camera talking, all about PPC. This happens every day, all day, Monday through Friday, even from weekends.
Sorry. Dan, does Scott even tell people that he's in our network every single week?
No, Scott delivers a work party, by the way, guys.
Wait, Dan, hold on, wait a second. For those of you guys who have those dream numbers and such, there's a workshop within Titan that you can do that goes along with a workbook that really brings this whole clarity thing to a completely different level. And every single week, Scott is on for a couple hours working with you guys, answering questions. This is the only place that he does that. He does not do that anywhere else. Even if you're his personal client and you're paying him a ton of money, he doesn't spend that kind of time answering questions with you. I promise you that. So that's just another thing we didn't even mention. If you guys want to connect with that level of brain power, Scott's also in our camp, in Titan camp, which is amazing. Okay.
Guys, your action items for today, I'm actually going to wrap this up now. For your action items today, I want you to go ahead and set up Amped and set up a campaign, let it run for 30 days with $10 a day. You're gonna get half of that back from Google. And then at 30 days, go into that keyword level ACOS and start optimizing those keywords down, and then see the impacts of that over 60, 90 days. And then with everything Scott went through, get really clear on that plan. And then your final action is to go ahead and schedule a call with Athena and the team. Even if you're not sure, even if you don't feel like you're there yet, let's just have a conversation. Let's get to know each other. And one thing, like I say, you'll get from that is clarity. So for Facebook, thank you again for being a part of this week. This group will be...
You're looking at the wrong camera, so they can't see your eyes.
Oh,
like, thank
sorry.
They want to see that love. They want to see those green eyes.
Sorry. Do you know what it is? I've spent the last 6 days looking at that camera, so I'm just doing it out of habit.
Yeah, they're missing that like one-on-one connection with you. So give it to them. This is the final.
Sorry, guys. I'm here. I'm looking. Do you know what? That's just habit. I've just been staring at that the whole time. Guys, yeah, listen, you've got that decision to make. Book a call with Athena. We're family. We're gonna continue this party, and we're gonna get you to where you want to be. Now, your action items today, as I said, Amped. On top of Amped, make sure you've got your plan clear in your mind. Book that call. And the video would be greatly appreciated. Now, I lost that final trail of thought. That was where I was going. Guys, this group was intended to be a pop-up group to force you to move. This, for everyone inside of Titan, this challenge is going to be published and uploaded to Titan next week. So Monday or Tuesday, you'll see this entire challenge library pop up in our classes section of Titan with all the worksheets. It's all going to be condensed and edited down as well, so that it's really concise, and you'll have access to this indefinitely moving forward. For anyone that hasn't made the decision to go ahead and click that link, schedule a call, and see if Titan's a good fit, we will be closing this group down. We can't have this group left out there, because everything we do properly. We focus and we serve at the highest level possible. Titan has over 20 multi-7-figure leaders. It has 30 plus mentors, many of which are multi-7 figures and exited the business already. It has hundreds of members and over 40 support staff in the background. I think it's more than 50 support staff now in the background, taking care of your success. Their only job, their only goal is serving you and your success. We put substantial resource behind Titan. It costs millions of dollars a year to run, to determine one factor, and that factor is your success. So with that, we can't have a Facebook group out there just randomly not being supported properly, and therefore we will be taking the group down. So I'm going to leave the group open until Sunday night. Sunday evening, this group will be open to, and then Athena will be closing that group and moving our focus back into serving and supporting Titan members. Is there anything you want to add there before I sort of wrap up?
No, just that I'm so excited. I've been looking at all the names pop through, and I can't wait to connect with you guys. And I'm hoping to see you at lunch and in Orlando. So all my Europeans, come see us at lunch, and all of my guys in general, you can come to the Orlando thing. But I really feel that we've made some amazing friends and connections over the last few days, people that we had never met before. We've got people literally joining us from New Zealand, from Japan, from Israel, from Mexico, from all over the world. And it's like really finding our people. These are fellow entrepreneurs. We're in this together. Dan and I, like when we talk about those whys and building things for our family and inspiring children and being able to impact and all that, that's why we do this. That's who we are as well. So we really just want to bring you along on this journey and give you guys as much support, as much resources. And if you notice, we really do have the cream of the crop that are involved in Titan. And there's a reason for that. A lot of these people have already had, 8-figure exits. They have no real reason to be sitting here day in, day out, giving you guys their all. They do it because they want to. They do it because of that feeling that you get when you really create an impact in someone else's life. So Titan has been built on magical freaking fairy dust, because it doesn't even make sense to have this amount of amazingness in just one place. And so I'm just really excited for the future. I'm excited to find all of you and be able to take you with us on this journey. So you have nothing to lose by having a quick chat with us just to see if it's right for you. And so yeah, that's really all I wanted to leave with. And I look forward to seeing you guys all really soon.
Sweet. Well, I'm looking at the right camera now. There you go. So yeah, Facebook, I'll see you. VIPs hang around. I'm going to jump over to Q&A, and we're going to wrap up some Q&A today. Feel free to ask questions from the entire week. I'll hang around. I'm actually going to go ahead and pour myself a